In the shadow of decay I rise, typhus the herald beneath poison skies. With nobles rot I lay walls to waste, the reaper's scythe no life can escape. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death god where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In nobles name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. Crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death god where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In noble's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. The Imperium's light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death god where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In noble's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. Nameless howl, the gassing walls, the whistling tides, new life is born. And nobles passing, a twisted grace, like a race of gods in my golden embrace. Fear the plague fleet, fear the end. No salvation, no let to defend. I am typhus, reaper of dread. Bow to Nurgle, embrace the dead.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast, and I am joined today with Mr. Death Guard Dave. How are you doing, Mr. Death Guard Dave?
Very good. How is everyone doing? Aiden, are you well?
I'm not too bad. I had a bit of a poo week. Obviously we had to cancel stream on Tuesday due to family issues, but part of that, it's sort of come around. I had my first driving lesson, Mr. Dave. It went actually pretty well. So I was surprised at how well it went. Actually, I was driving on main roads in my very first lesson, so that was pretty cool.
Dude, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, so hopefully being able to get to some more events, etc., will be a bit easier in the future, which obviously opens up chances to not only go and play, but also meet more people, which is awesome.
Yeah, very cool. Run into more people wearing more of our hoodies. Clearly, that's what I think we're going to end up doing.
Apparently,
so I think going into summer, perhaps we need a line of shorts.
Oh yeah, disgustingly resilient shorts. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. But how is everyone in the chat? I am 30, Brock. Yes, don't laugh. I know I'm very scared of driving, and I did start them before lockdown. So that was what, like 4 years? How long is lockdown? 4 years ago or so? Is that too long?
Yeah, that's when it started. No, it started 5 years ago, actually, almost.
Yeah, so I was doing my lessons then. Lockdown happened, so they got cancelled. Then they opened it, and then they closed it back down for 2 weeks, and I had another lesson in between, and I was just like, sod this. I went and bought a house instead with the money. So
yeah, which is A good plan.
So, but yeah, I'm getting back on it. So I understand that. Yeah, and also we can't drive in England until we're 18, so I've got 2 extra years on you Americans there. But yeah, we're getting there. But yeah, how is everyone in the chat doing? We are here for a nice cheeky tier list. Everyone loves a good tier list. It's probably
Everyone loves a tier list.
Everyone loves a good tier list, and I'm sure this won't be posted absolutely anywhere apart on this channel, and it definitely won't inform everyone else's opinion. And you know, just this is going to be the meta now. We're about to make the meta.
This is it. Absolutely.
So for Hughes asking about the demon data sheet, so we're not gonna put them on the tier list just because they're only applicable to one attachment. But we will talk about them.
We will talk about them though.
And we'll be doing an allies. We always come back and look at allies tier list, and we'll put, because we need to talk about knights, because knights are still on the table. They're still viable. Don't think you need them as much anymore.
Big
but you
it's still there.
Big Brute is still there, so we do have to talk about those. So they'll probably be in that one, but we can touch on them tonight if we're doing well for time. But let's have a quick check up with the chat. So Lay's Chicken, thank you very much for becoming a Plague Marine, Natalie. You don't think you had to do that, but thank you. Thank you for also running the Discord, etc. Thank you for the Kirby faces as well.
Thank you for everything you do.
Exactly. Justin Baker as well. Thank you very much for becoming a Plague Marine. Once again, guys, if you do enjoy the content of the channel, feel free to leave a like and a subscribe. And if you really, really enjoy it, consider becoming a Plague Marine like these have. It gets you access to our Discord, gets you access to our giveaways, and there's a lot of discussion going on in that Discord right now, isn't there, Dave?
There is an absolute ton of discussion going on right now. I mean, we've got 1,043 members in there now, and we've not only have we got like a giveaways channel, have we got music channel, have we got competitive and general Warhammer chats. We've now also got 7 technically, highly active sub channels, one for each detachment, and so people who are wanting to go, I like the look of this one. This is what I'm going to play first. This is a killer resource to just get into, share ideas, see what the people are running. If you're brand new to Death Guard, which I think a lot of people coming in now are into it, it's a good place to just find out what should I be taking, learn from what other people are doing. People are sharing photos from events, from games, from little battle reports. Yeah, it's incredibly good. And I think it was a great new addition to the Discord recently.
Yeah, so if you want to get involved in that, just become a Plague Marine. Once you've become a Plague Marine, you go to our YouTube channel homepage, go to the Posts tab, and there'll be a link there you can click on to get yourself inside Discord. As soon as you're in, just go to your Discord settings, connections, and link your YouTube to your Discord account, and it will automatically do the rest for you. So thank you very much, Mr. Justin Baker, for becoming a Plague Marine. Thank you as well to Sir, being a Plague Marine for 9 months. Hell yeah, my guy. Thank you very much for the ongoing support. And then we've also got some super chats coming. We've got Quack King with a £7.77. Put the Malignant Malignifier where it belongs. Thank you for the Discord too. Don't you worry, we'll have a good chat about Malignant Mid-Dead. I can't pronounce it. But don't worry, he's going right to the top, straight to the top, baby. And Cass Kelly Burt with a $7 Canadian dollars, super chat. With words. Yes, thank you for the words, Mr. Cass. I appreciate your insight. Very, very insightful. Thank you so much. But again, thank you for the support. Yes, Mr. Dave's Codex has arrived there. Mine is the same. It's in the front room at the moment. We didn't manage to get the super Codex. We got the one step down, though. So I'm still happy. I know I'm good too, Dave, but at least we got our super Codex.
I almost, because I was like, today I looked on eBay because obviously people have realized that the peak selling opportunity is gone. So if people still got them, and I was just like, but now I've got this one, like, I'm not sure I can even I could probably negotiate someone down on it. I'm like, I just don't know if I'm going to now.
But yeah, I know what you mean. It's people asking for a lot of money for those special.
If I had it for day one, yeah, I think so. But yeah, we'll see. But really happy to have the book. Even this version of it, the quality is really great. I think the imagery is great. The photography is fantastic, and of course, it's got all our good juicy rules in here and all our good data sheets, which is what we're talking about tonight.
It is indeed. So thank you again to Ryan Burns and Brock Laughlin, who's been a member 18 months. Holy shit. Saying blighthauler
wow, dude. Top. Amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing. But thank you as well to Ryan for becoming a Plague Marine and joining the Plague Legion. We actually have enough for a full chapter. We have 1,000 Marines now in our Discord,
we do.
which is awesome. And then Quiet Lord coming with the $7 Canadian super chat, 777.
Thank you.
Got off work early, glad to catch a live stream. I'm glad you are here. So I'm glad you get to enjoy in this most splendiferous of content.
Cheeky Thursday live stream.
I know, cheeky Thursday live stream. So,
yeah,
where shall we start, Mr. Dave?
Well, I'll tell you what. If anyone super chats really quickly, we'll start with that one. And I guess in the meantime, we'll just talk about give someone a chance to do that. If you just one other way, couple ways you can support the channel. Like Aiden said, become a member. Just $2.99 a month. It's a great way to do that, less than coffee. You can also go to drpstore.com, where you can find discussing resilient merchandise, like the hoodies Aiden and I were wearing on the Vanguard Tactics channel and the masterclasses. And I said the other places, they will be in stock from mid-June, early to mid-June. And Baron of Dice have promised me that they've ordered so much stock that they're not going to run out this time. But as Chuck properly said in the Discord, every time that they've said that, the community has gone absolutely mad and bought all of their dice. So I have warned him how big the community now is and how much it's grown even in the last week, and how big the Discord is. So do keep a look out there. So if you're looking for dice in the short term, do hold on and grab some of our disgusting resilient ones, which will be available soon. Yeah, and since I bought the guy some, since I bought the guy some time, Aiden, feel free to choose a unit.
So we'll very quickly go through the tiers, obviously, as well. So at the very top, we've got Stank Supreme. This is kind of like the should just automatically be in your list by default if you're making a competitive list. This is the creme of the creme. Now, the weird thing is about our book, there's going to be quite a top-heavy tier list, this one. There's a lot of good units. Nurgler Proves is like really strong, so that's like still a really strong data sheet. Solidly Plungent is a good data sheet, it's just not as good as the others.
Is that when you need to fix a toilet?
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
Mid is when we've got a unit that's kind of like, I need you as a person, if you say this is better than this, or you put it in your list, I need you to explain to me why. Like, why is this here over any of the options that are above it? Nice. And then last one is Febreze Fresh Linen Scent, which obviously is vile to Death Guard. The smell of fresh linen is just rank. Don't worry, we'll get to the demons. Don't worry, Mr. Marcel.
Don't worry, Marcel. Don't worry.
And yeah, if it's in there, it's genuinely just like, I don't see a use why you should ever take it. But again, feel free to come back on me, lad. Notorious Nurgle, the £1.99. Alphabetical. What is the first one? Alphabetical. It's going to be B.
Blightlords?
Blightlords. Then you got Biologus, actually, is before them. Is that everything?
What about a Plague Burst Crawler?
A Plague Burst Crawler. That's cheating, Mr. Dave. Okay, well, that's a good starting point. So we'll go for.
We'll start with a B first. How about that?
We'll start with B. Do you want to go for? Should we go for Bios Putrefire?
Or what about B for Bell Guy?
B for Bell Guy. We're going to B for Bell Guy. So the tier list will obviously take into account relative to each other, because again, that's the point of like the mid change of mind, because why would you pick that over anything else? So really they are compared to each other. So, but again, it still gives you a rough idea of like how powerful they are. I don't genuinely think there's many stinkers in our book.
I don't think there are.
No, but we can still obviously get some. Thank you very much to the binge list for coming to Plague and Remake. Appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with, we'll start with Bellboy.
C is for cheese.
C is for cheese. Oh God. I think the mic strategy might be using the wrong mic, Aiden. Let me have a check.
It sounds. I guess I'm talking to you in.
There we go. I've just changed it to the USB microphone. Hopefully,
Master, let us know if that's better.
Yeah. So I've got that on. I have big mic disabled. Yeah, that should be okay now. Right. So, Mr. Bellboy. Bellboy's a weird one.
Start with the Biologist Putrefire.
Okay, we'll go to that one. He's easier. Okay, Biologist Putrefire. So Biologist Putrefire is pretty. It's always been a staple for Death Guard. If you have Marines of any form in your army, the Biologist Putrefire is probably the first thing you kind of look at and consider. We've got crit 5s, lethal on every single weapon, so guns as well. That itself is really good.
It's enough.
He then also brings us like a short range, admittedly, but he brings a 2 damage weapon, which is nothing to sniff at. Strength 7 as well. It's pretty good.
And it's assault.
It is assault for whenever that's going to come up. You might never know though. You never know.
Might never.
Got to finish off one elf behind a wall. You can advance and shoot it. You never know. And then he also has this rule where he also has weird precision pistol at 3-inch range, but it's like flat 3 damage, which is really funny.
It's really good.
Don't forget to shoot that if you're in an ongoing combat, because you might kill a Terminator. Just shoot it.
I have previously. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. And then you've obviously got your rule where if his unit kills something in close combat, he then becomes OC7, which is actually kind of wild, because I've had it where my entire unit's been wiped out and he's survived, as often you do, sort of how a character live. And then he still holds the point because he's OC7. And I'm just like, cool. Yeah. I used to go primary. Lol.
And remember that his pistol was also anti-infantry 2 up now.
Oh, yeah.
This guy works in every single detachment. Like, literally every detachment can make use of this guy. Especially if you got, like, Champions of Contagion. Like, yes, you do have the on-demand 1 CP crit 5s, but he still is giving lethal to the entire squad. So
it's still such a good bonus.
Yeah, you're still going to take one of these. I'm pretty sure, like, it's really hard to me if you take Plague Marines that you don't take a Biological Putrefier. I put him in Stank Supreme, personally, because he's just so good up there.
I think it's an easy choice. Like, we've just literally and he's what, 45 points?
He is 45 points.
He's 45 points for everything you just reeled off. So, I mean, how can he not go there?
Yeah, he is definitely.
Yeah, Quackling. His pistol is his injector pistol is anti-infantry 2-up.
Very funny. Yeah, like I said, he's got good shooting, and then obviously there's combinations you can do with a certain other character we'll get to, which take him like to the next level. Not to mention, the biggest reason this guy was already good, again, was the crit 5s, but now,
crit 5s.
Previously, in our index, we had 0 ways to reroll hits, outside of Flyblown Host. Yep. Now, there's a lot of ways to reroll hits in this book, quite a few, and it turns out when you have crit 5s full rerolls, that's kind of daft, and it gets out of control pretty quickly. So yeah, he's instantly, for me, Stank Supreme, right to the top, and it seems most of the chat already agrees. Never take Marines, right? Yeah, exactly. So Dazza, we're sort of we can't take into detachments too much because, for example, there might be a unit that's only good in one detachment. Therefore, overall, he's not that good. But we will mention if we believe, like, in a certain detachment they actually go up. So we're going to try and go about the whole picture. But yeah,
and I think also just on that as well, the if you want to know about how these work in the detachments, then probably watch Aiden's series of videos on each detachment, which I think will give you a better thing. And in there, we'll clearly be calling out the best synergies from characters.
Yeah. So do you want to do another character, or do you want to go for a non-character unit?
Let's go for one of the drones, but not the HBL.
All right, so we've got our standard drone.
We can use that one twice, right? So do we want? Because I think we should talk about them separately.
Yeah, I've got 2 on the thing. So we've got the flesh mower one up. So don't worry, we've got everything here that we need. Right.
Yeah, let's do flesh mower.
So here's the thing with the flesh mower drone. It was in the index, 90 points.
Yeah.
The exact same as it is right now, and it's still 90 points. The exact same as it was in the index, but it has new detachments to play it in. It has more support as well. And in general, like, the thing only got better and literally stayed the exact same. I don't know how it's still 90 points. The thing is, it itself is not the most scary thing in the world. It is not the most killy. It doesn't kill as much as the other vehicles on here and stuff like that. But again, 90 points. Pretty fast for Death Guard. Fly.
10 inch fast. Yeah.
Can't
gain
get
the wound.
up. Oh, wait, what? No, they were always 10 wounds. They were 10 wounds. They were always 10. T9 10. So it's...
sorry, I was probably thinking of toughness. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
So you still got fallback, shoot, and charge, which means you can annoy the crap out of things.
That's true.
Now, I personally think the flesh mowers sometimes is overrated. I don't think the flesh mower is as scary as people make out.
I agree.
But there's the thing that this makes this unit good is the fact that it has a lot of mind game potential. Like, flesh mowers genuinely make people react to it. People really get scared when these things come flying at them, and they still make such an excellent skirmishing trading unit. Because
they do.
What other skirmishing unit that costs 90 points or less kills a blow drone?
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't have a like for like trade really. Which is good. I mean, I've had some great fun with these things where I've flown them into a squad of sisters with melters, and they've shot at an Overwatch, and I've CP rerolled the final one, saved it on a 5, and then the flesh mowers just picked up the entire squad, which has been that kind of thing is just hilarious. Like you said, it's really fast. It's got mission play as well. If you need it to, it can be a good screening unit at the back when you need to space some models out, and when you've got you're playing a detachment that requires you to be coming forwards. So and then it can get back in the fight quite quick. So yeah, I agree. I think it's for 90 points. It's a bit of a steal.
Yeah, and then you got the potential board control elements of it with these sprayers. Because even though they're not great at killing Marines, a lot of people still pull a hissy fit the second you say, "Oh, if you're in contagion, it'll be AP2 anti-infantry 2 up, 2d6 shots." The reality is it kills about 2 Marines on average. But people,
it's not as bad as it. Yeah.
people don't want to walk past it though, and especially if they're like elves or something, they're going to spend a token to not be overwatched.
They definitely don't want to do it. I mean, I think, I didn't even have any mass anti-infantry 2 up, and you saw how many times Ben every single turn was instantly like stopping Overwatch on them, and these things are worse for it. Like you said, the fullback shooting charge is good. Tank shock is an option with it as well.
They can tank shock.
And they can tank shock. So I think it's a fast, tough OC3 as well. So if you do, to your point, if you do go onto a point and hose something off with flamers or a couple of models, and then suddenly they've only got only 1 or 2 models left or a couple of OC1 models left on it, then you hold the point as well.
The fact you can put 3 of these in your list for 270 points and run them down a flank, like how for 270 points? What the fuck? It's so cheap for what they do.
It's so cheap.
And people just do not like trading into it. And they've also, let's not forget, they have a 5 pinball. They're a demon engine. So like you said, there's times when that unit that should kill them comes out and shoots them, and you just spike in ones and you just laugh at them. You're like, no, I'm not dead. Like, the question for me is this Nurgle approves or Stank Supreme? Because I think currently a lot of people have almost forgot these things exist because of the heavy blight launch drone. But they actually are still an amazing unit that serve that, because the heavy blight launcher drone doesn't want to go forward and be skirmishing. That wants to seem like a gunline unit. So they have different roles, and I genuinely think this is still Stank Supreme. I'd have put it in Stank Supreme in Index, and like I said, for me, it's only got better. So how can I not put it in Stank Supreme?
Yeah, it's hard to argue with. I think, and just on your heavy blight launcher drone point, and this and we're not going to get too much into this, but I think if you're playing certain detachments, then having heavy blight launcher drones in your backline is good. But these things, you can play the game with them starting in your backline and moving forwards. So I think they're arguably even more versatile.
And also, people will never stop shitting their pants when a mower drone is running at them.
And you can supplement the firepower that you would have had on a heavy blight launcher drone with other options in the Codex. So it's not a case of taking those or nothing.
Yeah, I think we'll see how it goes. They might drop down a tier, but right now, as I'm seeing
it, start it there.
Yeah, we'll start it there. It might drop down because there are some other really, really good stuff. But like, I think these things have just kind of been moved to the side just because everyone's looking at heavy blight launch drone. But when you play with them again, you remember yourself how good these are. And I have seen players overcommit, like especially flesh mowers. I don't know what it is with flesh mowers. I have seen players commit 250 point units out to kill this because they're so scared to get in flesh mode, and then they just get shot to death. And it was like, cool.
People panic. And as a Narky member for 10 months said, mower over sprayers every time, changed my mind.
Oh, I'm a sprayer man myself, but
I think I am, but that's not because I don't like the mower. I just think the sprayer probably plays into my playstyle more.
I just like making people have fits with Overwatch because it makes them burn mental and time. And burn a CPS sometimes as well. So yeah, we'll put it up there for now. We'll come back to him. So
also, Chuck, you say flamers have always been underwhelmed. I've always underwhelmed. My answer to you is roll better.
Just roll better. Right. So let's go on to then. Let's have a look at Chaos Spawn. Chaos Spawn are an interesting one. Chaos Spawn. They have Scout now. They have the weird Mortal Wound Reflecty thing. They're now also T7.
We've got to come up with a little term for that.
We'll have to call it. We'll
Eventually we will. Yeah.
It's like anti-grenade or something like that. Like like anti-tank shot. I don't know, but they're very good. Yeah. They are the fastest infantry that we have.
Fast.
Beast. The fastest thing that can move through walls is what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
Yes.
They are okay in melee, especially if you've got -1 save because they're AP2, 2 damage each.
Yeah.
They don't hit the greatest. They don't have lethals, but like I had them in combat chipping wounds off a PBC, which was all right. And then every time they got bumped, it displayed a mortal wound back. Yeah. I think the fun thing about this unit is like the mortal wound splashback can just like kill an elite unit. Like if they do 6 wounds to you,
absolutely,
it's like cool. On average, a grenade back and kill a guy. So like even if this unit goes out to a point, does an action, scores some victory points, and then gets charged by 3 sanguinary guard, they take one out on the way, so they've got half the points back just for dying. Like
it's really good.
They also as someone said in chat, Brock there, they don't like these are the same role our cultists used to do for the early game scout skirmish and affliction.
Yep, definitely.
They're much harder to kill. T7
and a T7, that was my big thing. When I saw that in the book, I was like, T7 spawn, like 8-inch move, like scout 6, awesome. And also
4-up save as well. Let's not forget the 4-up save in cover. That's a
4-up
3-up
save,
save.
5 up invuln. So 5 up feel no pain. And D6 plus 2 attacks.
It's pretty good.
2 of them can put out a lot of hurt. And they're 2 damage.
Yeah, 2 damage, which is pretty good for killing Marines. You kill scouts
and
easy.
AP1 baked in, AP2 effectively if you're in contagion and you're running the save. I really like them. I think I'm much more. In fact, in the list I've been building, particularly for Deathlord's Chosen, I'm like, there's a spawn unit in there, easy.
Yeah, for Virulent Vectorum, just for the fact I can maybe scout and like sticky mid objective, plus like the fact that again they're good for just they're the fastest infantry we got. Moving, you can scout, move, advance, so you can go 6 scout, 8 move, 14 plus D6
really good.
to get some at turn 1 afflicted if you really wanted to.
Really
I'm going to put
good.
these in. I will put them in Nurgle approves, because I don't think they're too much. We could even say Stank might be. This is a bit much on this unit. These don't feel too much. They're a good
top of Nurgle approves at the minute.
At the moment, yeah.
Obviously, because they're there. Yeah.
They're 80 points. They're not the cheapest thing in the world, but they're also not too expensive. The argument being, people say, oh, yeah, for 10 points more, you get a bloat drone. And that is true. But also for 10 points less, I get to move through walls as well and have the scale utility and do mortal wounds on the clapback. And
they're only 30 points more than what your cultist unit used to be.
Yeah, and they're way better for it, which I really
way better.
What order do you roll for their models? So I'll quickly do this. Every time you are successfully wounded, you need to slow roll your saves.
Yeah.
Every time a wound is allocated, so allocating a wound is not when you are targeted. It is when you pick a model to take a save. At that point, you've triggered the rule once. So I'm going to say this spawn is going to take the first save. So I'm going to roll at least 1 back at you. I then roll my save, I roll my feel no pain. Whatever I roll is irrelevant at that point. Whether he lives or he dies, doesn't matter. Whether he saves it, doesn't matter. I'm going to roll the dice. If he's still alive, cool, I will allocate the next wound to him. So now I've got 2 dice to roll. Do the same again, regardless of saves and feel no pains, doesn't matter. Am I still alive? Yes, I'll allocate the next wound to him. 3, and so on and so forth. So as long as you allocate the wounds to them, which is when you choose a model to take a save, up to 6 times, that will trigger the rule. Okay? So it's a bit of a weird one, but that's how it works. So I'm going to put them in Nurgle approves. I'm finding it hard not to make a list of at least one of these units.
Yep, I totally agree.
Do you want to pick your next one, Dave? 267 viewers, by the way. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in.
I know, guys, that's amazing. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Let's go for the hellbrute for a bit of discussion.
Hellbrute. Ooh.
I think this is going to be an interesting early take on the model, because I mean what I would say about it straight off the bat is I certainly haven't played one in the Codex, and I only play one of these if not even always, but if I was playing playing an index tank spam, because I liked the ability to put something in contagion at range, and I would run it with and to have an extra las cannon and a crack missile launcher for the range. That was the reason I would take it previously, and I'll be honest, immediately off the bat, my immediate take is I wouldn't drop I wouldn't drop anything currently that I'm playing to put one of these in. Yeah,
I think that's where I'm at. Now, I actually would run it differently. So my take on this one is to go 2 melee weapons. You go fist and a hammer. Or double fist, potentially, if you don't care about the hammer. Because for some reason, our hammer hits on a 3. Don't know why. The other one's hit on 4s. I'll take it. But if you go double fist, the reason I say this is because if you take the twin heavy flamers, the heavy flamers in the middle, because you get +1 to wound against anything affliction, that means if you come from reserves, you effectively, against marine bodies anyway, or anything T5 or lower, have 2 anti-infantry 2-up flamers. Because they'll wound you on 3s with +1 to wound.
With +1 to wound. Yeah.
And they're going to be AP2, because they're going to be AP1 plus -1 save contagion. So that's actually not bad for flamers. And then you try and go for a charge, you probably rapid ingress it in. It's not the biggest base in the world, can sneak it in. And with the, I think it has, with the +3 attack, I think it takes to 7 attacks.
It gets +2. It gets +2 attacks if it's got 2 melee weapons.
It's 5 to 7, which actually is pretty good.
It's quite a lot.
But that's quite a lot of a melee attack. So then you get actually decent punching out of it. You're wounding most things in the game on 2s because you're strength 12, and everything else is going to be -1 toughness. So unless it's T13, you're going to put it down to T11, and then you're going to get +1 to wounds. It's going to be on 2s. That at 110 points isn't awful.
No.
It's not awful, but at the same time, it's not great.
It's a 7-inch move. It's T9. It's got a 2-up save now, which is good. But I mean, I think I've got other things that I'd still look at that and go for utility and play. I'd probably put in more spawn over that. Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. But if I had, I'd probably put in spawn over that. If I had points kicking around, plus an enhancement would be more attractive to me for that. I'm not far off having some deathshroud.
Yes, that's
that price.
problem.
If I needed if it was that, and I maybe wanted a punchy character over, and I needed some point spare, am I going to make sure I've got a Lord of Contagion versus another type of character in? Would I does Typhus do a better job for me if it's that versus this? The answer there is yes, it does do a better job for me. So I think it's a tricky one. It's not that it's bad. It's just we've got so much good in here that right now I'd struggle to justify putting that in over something else unless I was trialing it to try and make up a new list or something.
Yeah, for me, it's got the 2-up save, which is pretty decent. And it's not got many
That's
wounds.
an improvement.
It always had a 2-up save, to be fair to it. But it's only got 8 wounds, so it dies pretty quick.
Yeah, and it's got no
invuln. Which is the worst because 2-up save plus cover gets you like a 4-up usually against anti-tank. But
yeah.
The main problem with it is, if I'm going to do that trick where I'm bringing in my heavy flamers, I need to rapid ingress it because it's slow. It is a slow unit. It works in World Eaters because 1, it's faster, 2, it has more attacks, but it also has a 6-inch power and consolidate, and it has its stupid rule where it can bounce into combat. You hit it swings back, consolidates the next unit, and it just chains you.
Yeah. Agreed.
As is more than likely, this is peak hellbrute performance. You rapid ingress it, so you spend a CP. You come in from reserves, you walk towards a unit, you flame a unit, and you kill some infantry. Then you charge another unit, you punch something to death. Great. Then you die.
Great. Then it does die.
That is if you don't get screened out. That is if you don't get just killed while you fail, or you don't fail your charge. It just, compared to other things we have, especially that deathshroud, I don't think it's awful.
It's not awful,
but I think it goes in the mid.
It's not as good is the problem. And the other thing I would say is, Aiden, let me ask you just a very straightforward question. If you had some points and it was taking one of these or another drone or a mephitic blighthauler,
I'm taking
what would you take
first.
Anything else, right? You're taking anything else first. Same here.
Yeah. Necros, it specifically states that the close combat weapon doesn't be included in the 2. It has to be 2 weapons plus the close combat weapon, so you can't just take 1 melee weapon and get the plus 2 attacks. So for me, it's mid-change in mind. It just doesn't do enough. It used to have. I actually think the role it used to do with the Plague Ring rule, it had more of a use than it currently does. Plus 1 to wound is not a bad rule. The problem is, and especially again, if I could put double guns on it, but it's not a miss at launch. If I could take double auto cannon, people used to do old dreadnoughts with twin auto cannons.
Yeah.
Plus 1 to wound is not horrible. Or if I could do even twin heavy bolter, I wouldn't mind too much. But just as it is at the moment, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just there's so much better things you can spend your points on. Apparently, it's 115 does it. Again,
it's 115 in the updated points in the app.
Yeah, so you'd have to really convince me why you want these in your list. The only time I could see maybe taking these is if you're doing some really hull spam, but all cheap hulls. So it's 3 of these bloat drones, 3 of these bloat drones, 3 of these hulls, 3 hell brutes, and you're just trying to scum out some weird skew list. But even then,
I could see a weird Mortarion, a hammer detachment with some of these in it. I could see some science in there somewhere. But when we're talking about these as general models stacked up against each other, even in that detachment right now, I'm running other things.
Yeah, and it lost its impact mortals, which was you used to be able to combine that with tank shock and actually do quite a bit of mortals, and it's lost that. So yeah, I'm going to keep him in mid for now. Not too happy with how he's performing. Do you want to pick the next one, Dave?
Sure, let's go for our friendly neighborhood Poxwalkers.
Poxwalkers, right, okay. The absolute menace of the game that everyone thinks is going to break the game, Dave. Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Ooh, everyone watch out.
No,
watch out, everybody. The unkillable.
These, now don't worry, they are a good unit. They are good. Infiltrate is
Yep.
good, especially like for me, Virulent
It's
Vectorum
great.
boy. I get sticky turn 1 if I get it. But here's the thing: 20 Poxwalkers. Turns out it's not that hard to kill.
And I would say that when we first saw the rules, I was like, oh my god, every list has to start with 20 Poxwalkers, and it doesn't. Like you can quite happily run 2 units of 10, 3 units of 10, and actually you've come up with quite a good trick for 2 units of 10 doing a nice infiltrate thing. But yeah, it suddenly isn't the be all and end all.
No, they are good. Like, we're not saying they're not good. We're just saying they were massively like overhyped. So not overhyped, but just over like dramatized. Poxwalkers can do some really good stuff. They're a great screen. They're a great move block. They're great for just cheap. You need something to hold home because you've not got... And again, they do compete with another guy for holding home duty. We'll get to that. But they are 60 points for 10 guys. That, you'll put in your list just to have something to do actions, come in from reserves, do actions, just early stop enemy infiltrators.
On your home if you need it, block out some space, like...
Block scout moves, deny enemy infiltrators. Like, they have a very, very good, like... They have a good role. Like, they are needed... And they fill a nice gap in the roster. Getting turn 1 is great with them because you can do really annoying move blocks, which is really good. We like that.
Yep.
But they are not quite the menace, and we've even seen right now a Shambolic Victorium list has gone 5-0. Well done, Ed. Eddie Chater, I think it is, from Mind Goblins. Well done to you, mister. We'll talk about that list later on in the week, or well, maybe next week. But even then, he was playing Shambolic and he didn't commit to the 120. I think he had 4 units of 20 and 110. So he only took 90 because you still need points because the problem is Poxwalkers can do all these amazing things we said, but they can't kill shit.
No.
And if you can't kill shit, you don't really play. You don't really win the game.
Yeah. It's I think they're very good and very useful, and I definitely will be taking them in probably almost every list. But yeah, they're not the game. They're not game breaking. They're not the thing that's going to make my opponent S the bed.
Yeah.
You said you can kill them and you can play around them.
Yeah, I don't think they have to be in every list as well. I think they're a good inclusion in every list, but you don't have to take them. So if you really like Poxwalkers, like
I'm talking very much from a DLC perspective. They're incredibly useful for me in that instance. But I think you're right. You don't need them in everything.
Yeah, but they are really good. They're great for just doing early secondaries, great for move blocking.
Yes.
As long as you set your expectations realistic with these guys and know they're probably going to die the turn you expose them. But I played a game earlier this week. They move blocked a Plague Burst Crawler after sticking an objective turn 1, which then meant my opponent couldn't get to it, so I just held a primary for a turn. And then they charged the Plague Burst Crawler and just kept it busy for a turn. Nice. So that's 60 points of use out for me. Great.
And I used them in mine for I put 10 on my expansion. I put 10 on the middle, and then basically I used them both to put a wide selection of things into contagion. That meant I wasn't blocked from bringing my deathshroud in because there was a unit that was outside that I wasn't in affliction with. So that stopped me being closer than 9 to that unit, and I just used them for that. And then they were like fire and forget.
Yeah, but they're definitely like you put these in any list, they'll do well. But you don't feel forced if you don't want to. But I'd never be upset to see a Poxwalker unit. Plus, they're great for just filling the last couple points in your list. Like, you got 120 points left. You've got low scoring units. Just shove 2 of these in. Great. I like just taking them in 10s at the moment, just for that use. And let's not forget, they can also go with Typhus and do some cool things there. Death loss, 6 more wounds.
Very nice.
Cool. So we'll keep them in Nurgler Proofs.
Brad Boyce, welcome to being a Plague Marine. Thank you very much for supporting the channel and joining. Head on over to the post tab on the YouTube homepage, get the Discord link, get over there and connect your YouTube account to Discord and welcome in.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Brad. Okay, next up then, we'll talk about the tallyman, because the tallyman does sort of the home holding job. I think the tallyman for me is, he himself, okay, so we actually talk about what he does. His rule for joining units is kind of bad. I don't think there's a world where I ever join him to a Plague Marine unit.
Never.
I don't really care about that rule's existence. I don't care about his damage output. All I care about this guy is sitting on my home objective.
Give me some CP.
And trying to get me some CP. That is all I care about. Like
100%.
He can, and the fact he's now just 40 points, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Like, that is more than fine with me. I think especially if you're a person that likes to use a lot of stratagems, you can obviously take a Demon Prince and this guy, and then you have like all the CP you'll ever need, which is really, really good. So there's genuinely not like he's not a bad thing. He's weird. He does very little, but also like that's all I need him to do.
Yeah, and what I liked is actually Will's comment as well was that if you, what's really funny is if one of your reasons is you're putting to try and get cheap free CP, you're putting in a demon prince. I'm not saying anyone is, but if ever that's one of the first rules the first thing that jumps into your mind to make a unit have cheap CP or free CP, then then you just want tallyman there because he's 40 points. And as Will said, which was a really good point, is you might only have 40 points left and you can't get 10 more poxwalkers. But what you could do is put in a second tallyman, and then you've got 2 of them just hanging around in the back, helping scream. And for 40 points, that's actually a really cheap roll. I would argue that if you're running something like DLC, which has only got 1 CP strats,
Yeah.
I'd argue you don't have to have him in every list.
Yeah.
Like he could be even solidly pungent.
I think that's where he sits as well.
I think that's fair because I think if we look at what some of the other things are doing, also do jump in because I think I'm going to let you read Huge Anus's a super chat.
Huge Anus, great unclean one, butts, drivers, nuts. Thanks for all the content, gangsters. Also, will there be DRP ponchos for the cheese stream if we choose to sit in the splash zone? That is not a zone you want to be in. Natalie, can I have a DRP poncho? She says, sure, there you go, you got your wish. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat there. Great unclean one, butts, do drivers, nuts over in this channel.
Bumper stickers.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm going to put him in solidly pungent because I agree.
Agreed.
I don't think he's auto take. I think he's nice to have. I would never be upset to see him in someone's list. I'd be like, cool, that's fine. He's doing a job.
Yeah.
Someone's got to set your home objective. You might as well do something while you're there. Like, you know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah, he's
like it.
He's really solid. Again, don't think mid tier here is actually mid because it's the Death Guard Codex and a lot of things are good. Like
Everything's
all top
up.
3 are good. Like genuinely.
Yeah.
What are you doing there, Mister?
Mr. Don Hooson has said he's requested for a 777 classic Don Hooson super chat. Defiler. Sorry, not Defiler. Destructor.
Destructor. Okay, Predator Destructor.
We'll do that one for you, Don.
Predator Destructor. What do we think?
I still think the thing has got a lot of value to bring to the table. I don't know if it is as vital as it was in Index, but it's definitely top 2 rows for me. The heavy bolters are still marine shredders, especially if you've got the things in contagion. The fact it gives us extra AP into infantry as well. The 48-inch range is still the max shooting in our Index. Sorry, keep saying Index, in our Codex, unless we bring in something like a Big Burr or something like that. But we're talking about what's in here. It's got more range than the heavy blight launcher as well. The autocannon is still big damage. If you've got 2 of them and one shoots something, then the other one's getting the benefits as well. So I think they're still very, very scary. They've got their about 5 inches, 4.5 inch long model, so it still gives you good screening when you've got a couple of them top bottom of your deployment zone, and lets you then still poke out and get great angles out to your opponent. So I still think they are incredibly valuable.
Yeah, I love playing one in strategic reserve still. Just pops in. The cool thing about it now is you can just save the Havoc launcher. So what I like to do with it is put all my main guns and the heavy bolters and stuff into the target I want to kill, and I'll just shoot the Havoc launcher at a different squad in case I kill the initial one straight up. If I do, then I'll pick the second one to get the the
benefits,
AP.
the extra AP. Yeah.
The weird thing is sometimes I feel upset because I'm like, I wish you had the AP on your initial shots. But it still does enough work. The strength 10 to strength 9 FAQ recently was probably just a typo anyway, but it was
definitely a typo.
Put it for me, if this thing was still strength 10, it would be Stank Supreme, because then it also
100%.
can kill tanks pretty reliably.
Yeah.
At strength 9, it's still good, don't get me wrong, but I think it comes down to Nurgle approved for me.
Yeah, I agree. I'd go Nurgle approved. If it had stayed strength 10, I would have said it would be Stank Supreme.
Yeah, but it is very good. The Destructor just does a great job. Brings a great buff to your army. Like, even just giving AP1 to Deathshroud Flamers, and then with the -1 save contagion, like AP2. Like, that's a big damage upgrade from AP0. Like,
and the autocannon's got lethal now.
Yeah, and let's not forget, it's still flat 3 damage. It's a flat 3 damage gun. It's gonna hurt. Yeah, Predator Destructor is gonna be, again, I'm not upset to see it in any list. You can take one as a tech piece just to sort of trigger the AP bonuses. They also work really good in pairs, because the first one can fire and then the second one like cleans it up.
The other one gets the benefit. Yeah.
And then the second one, when it shoots at the first one that's infected with minus 1 AP, can definitely put its Havoc Launcher into the next target to set up somewhere else. So yeah, Predator Destructor is a great unit. Let's talk about its unfortunate twin. We always know there's the unfavored twin. Predator Destructor. This actually might be the first for Breeze for me. What a garbage piece of shit unit.
I don't think we even need to discuss it very much. I can't see myself putting one of these. I haven't even thought about this data sheet since the code. I can't even tell you the last. In fact, I can. The last time I think I played one of these, as in the actual Annihilator model, because I need las cannons, was probably in the first 6 months of 10th, and that was it. In one tank list I took, just to max las cannons for lols.
Yeah, it was. The annoying thing is the Predator Annihilator was bad, and then they didn't make it good, but they made it okay when they gave it full reroll damage against vehicles and monsters, which made it kind of reliable. Because what it meant is, when you do punch a las cannon through, there's a good chance you can at least get a good damage roll. Now they took that away from it, so you have 3 las cannon shots. Odds say you hit 2. Hopefully it's the top turrets you get twin linked on one of these dice. So maybe you put 2 wounds on something, and then they'll have a 5-up save because of cover. So they probably save 1 at this point, or you've dropped a wound. Yep. Now, you get to deal D6 plus 1 damage, and if you roll a 1, you don't get to do anything else. That's it.
So that's one of my main problems. And the second one is that and it's a bit of an aesthetic modeling issue for me. The top las cannon's got 2 barrels on it.
Why is it not 2 shots?
You get 1 shot, and you can still roll that. And yes, it's twin linked, but I mean that's just adds insult to injury.
David, strength 14 as well.
Ooh, great. Well, that makes a huge difference to everything. If I'm not wounding something on 2s already, like with contagion, probably, then I'm just I'm not a fan. I think for Breeze it comes in a new flavor, and that flavor is Annihilator Scent.
And let's not forget, it's also awful rule. So after you've shot something, on a 5-up or a 4-up, if it's in contagion, you get to deal D3 mortal wounds to it. So this is a tank with weapons that are designed to one-shot other tanks, because you want to roll high on the damage and one-shot them.
Punch holes into armor. Yeah.
And it gives you a chip damage ability. Who the hell cares? Because the thing is, you're going to have the games where you roll 1 on the damage, and then D3 mortal wounds, you're going to do 2. Wow, I've done 3 damage. And then you're going to have other times when the las cannons all connect and you one-shot something and the ability then doesn't trigger.
It's also worse than that, because bear in mind we're talking about las cannons, right? Weapons designed to kill other tanks and armored things. If you shoot a guardsman with that, you don't get to do the D3 mortals.
Yeah, so it has to be in contagion to get the extra +1 for its rule to go off. Yes.
Great.
It's just... If you really want las cannons, chuck them on the Destructor instead, and just
put them on the Destructor and keep the autocannon. Yeah.
Don't take the Predator Annihilator. I don't get how you fix a unit then make it bad again. Like, come on.
And also if you want some reliable high strength damage, take a heavy blight launcher drone.
Yeah, at least 3's not going to let you down.
Just before you jump onto another one, Nerdboy 40k has become a Plague Marine, so thank you very much.
Hey,
and so is Matt Dawson.
Hell yeah, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
330
330.
See, the fun thing is my Streamlabs counter is broken. It's still stuck at 270, but because I put that live tracker on the stream, Dave, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Yeah. Joel says Annihilator is one of my favorite units ever. It being so bad at its job is a crime. It is. It has one job and it can't even do it well. And I believed in this little predator. It's a little predator that could, but right now it's definitely a little predator that couldn't. Sad face. So let's go on to then. Let's try and get out some of the real quick ones. We'll join it again. Icon bearer. What is the point?
Oh, Can we just drop him? Should we just drop it straight to the bottom?
Yeah, when he used to have his cool banner thing, he actually had a use, and I actually used him towards the end in Plague Storm.
If they just left it the same and just still gave you a 12-inch bubble whenever you wanted it once a game, at least he'd probably in mid change my mind or
I'd actually put him in solid. If you had that ability, I'd put him in solid because contagion is so much more important.
No, I know. But now it's just garbage.
Yeah, the real problem with him that really annoys me is his rule is to unbattle shock a unit, but he can only do it to a battle shocked unit at the start of a phase. So in the one phase where this is the most important to score primary, if you are not battle shocked at the start of the phase, because you're not, but then you have to take the test and fail it, and you become battle shocked,
he can't help you.
He can't help you. The one thing he's meant to do, he can't help you save primary. And I know, he's just bad. Like, don't ever put this guy on your list.
If the wording had been in any phase, then that would make him better. But yeah, he's I think he's going to be kept company with somebody else, maybe, I don't know, like down there. But
so a great suggestion we've had is to just use him as the icon of despair if you're going to take in a Plague Marine squad.
Yeah.
There's a much better use for him. So yeah, he's not good.
Give me that banner. Hold this flag instead.
Yeah, quite literally, he's not good.
No.
Next up, we'll go to where should we go?
Let's go. Should we go for the humble rhino?
Humble rhino. I mean, I'm
the workhorse.
It is the work. You take a rhino. Are you running Plague Marines? Chances are you're taking a rhino.
Yeah.
It stages. It
Sorry,
aggressively.
Tell just said about the banner bearer. He's a trainee plague surgeon.
Makes sense.
That's what's happened.
Okay.
Okay.
The rhino is just great. It is genuinely great. It's now got a really good ability as well to give full rerolls to wound to the unit when it gets out, which is good. It's great for just staging and launching out 5 Marines at a time to flick primary. You can still do the old plague bust. That's still kicking around. That's still really good. It still can rapid ingress into play and drive onto a point. It can just play normally, drop out 10 guys, shoot, firing deck, all the good stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's our fastest unit.
Yep, 12-inch move. It's literally our fastest unit. This thing will, if you are running Plague Marines, unless you're running very specific tech with the Lord of Poxes, for example, with some form of blown up enhancement, this Rhino for me is not even a question. Like, if I'm taking Marines, there's a Rhino on the list, straight up.
Yeah, I think as long as if you've got Marines and you can, then absolutely they're very. It's very cool, and its ability for those Marines is also really really useful when they get out.
Yeah, you don't take foot Marines. Like, yes, you can be Zito and chuck them in a Land Raider, but you're still taking a transport. But if you don't want to be a madman and spend points to Land Raider, the Rhino is there for you. And after
it is. I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, just don't forget how many little. I've had this thing kill Eldar because he just has so many little shots. He's got 8 bolt gun shots plus a havoc.
Yeah.
You can drive up to MSU Eldar, Aspect Warriors, -1 save contagion, shoot them, and potentially wipe.
And they go away.
I've done it.
And it's got tank shock and it's got OC.
Yes.
And it can move block between buildings. It can it is really good. I mean, in one of my lists I'm running 5 Marines in a DLC list, and I haven't got a Rhino in there. I would if I had the points for it, but in that instance they're kind of using a slightly different role in terms of they're not screening, but they're just kind of waiting to jump out from behind my kind of home kind of ruin, just to clean off anything that's around, or just to back up the tallyman in that instance. But yeah, I think it's a really good unit. I would say that this has been in most people's unit for most people's list for a very long time as well.
And let's not forget as well, there's now new tricks with it with Mortarion where you can re-embark. It's not tanky, don't worry. Yeah, it will die very easily, but every shot this thing takes, and your Marines aren't getting took. And again, sometimes you just hide in behind walls, and then once they've done the job, they go do actions and stuff. It's just super cheap, super usable.
Yeah, and a springboard as well, to get out that distance, which is now it's a wonderful unit. Definitely one to stick up there, I think.
Louis Williams, if I take 2 10-man Plague Marines, am I taking 2 Rhinos? Yes. If you're taking 10 Marines, because they're already expensive,
they're not on foot.
You need to keep them safe. And someone said, what's the most Rhinos you would run? As many Plague Marines as you're running. You're running 30, take 3.
Yeah. If you've got 3 10-mans, they have to go inside the shell to get where you want them to. You don't want 10 Marines slogging it on foot across the board. You won't be able to hide them all if you roll a poor advance, and then you start losing them. So definitely, if you've got 10, get a Rhino.
Yeah, agreed. And also can take Poxwalkers in them now. Don't know why you do it, but what's really funny, if your opponents took Cull the Horde and they've weakened one of your Poxwalkers down, they're going to finish it off, and you have a Rhino nearby, go hop in. Don't do that because you'll lose the points, because if they're not on the board for Cull the Horde, it counts as being destroyed. So don't do that. But if they have something like no prisoners, then you can go and get in the Rhino.
Then you can
hide and just keep yourself a bit safe. But don't do it for Cull the Horde. That will screw you over.
That's quite funny.
I've got to remember. But yeah, Rhino's great. Next one up. Do you want to pick one, Dave?
Yeah, cool. Let's do the Malignant Plaguecaster.
Oh, our beloved Plague Bus. And
our
now,
beloved boy. The driver of the Plague Bus.
What used to just basically become a super flamer now has actually a really good rule as well. Sustained hits, 1 against anything afflicted, both shooting and melee.
He's become a powerhouse. And also, he's like, let alone the fact that I love the fact that his weapon is D3 damage in melee as well.
Yeah,
his bonk stick is so good. The fact that he's now a. The funny thing is, as good as the Lord of Poxes is, when if I'm putting a marine unit together, I'm like, I think it's a biologist putrefier and malignant plaguecaster first.
Yeah, he kind of goes hand in hand. This is the new brotherly love here. These two guys.
It's a new tag team.
Yeah, now you have literally got lethal, sustained, crit 5s, and then you have a plethora of reroll hits in this codex, and you're
making minus movement.
Yeah, and he's like 60 points. There's one reason he's cheaper than he was in
60
Index.
Points.
And he's still got a good flamer. Do not get me wrong, he's still got an amazing flamer.
Yeah, always hazardous. Like
it's so good.
He's so good.
He's Stank Supreme. He goes with the Barrage Fire.
Definitely is. Yeah.
If you're running a Plague Marine unit that wants to kill things, this is the combo.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And yeah, Zito's right. He doesn't even need his own gun. Just giving the sustained 5s to the squad because of the Barrage Fire would be more than enough.
60 points, you're getting sustained.
Yeah, but then you also get an amazing flamer and an okay. I beat a hellbrute to death with that thing. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Mr. Mikeway as well. Thank you very much for the 14 months membership. Almost double the nurgling time. That is double the nurgling time. We're at 14 months is 2 times 7. That is
double
nurgling time. Hell yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, so a bit annoying to get hold of because you have to buy the Mortarion's Chosen or the Kill Team box, but if you have them right now, those two in a 10-man squad of Plague Marines, especially in Virulent Victorian with the rerolls, everything strat, you just split your shots and kill 2 units, charge and kill another. Like, this
if you're new to Death Guard, get 2 of these. Regardless, like if you can, just like go onto if you find them on eBay or Troll Trader, or you find them in a forum that's selling. If you can get hold of 2 of these, because if you put 2 of them in a Rhino, you get the Plague Bus, which is using Firing Deck 2 for 2d6 plus 6, AP2 base, D3 damage. If you get any mortals from the Hazardous, it goes on the Rhino. If they're with the Marines, you're getting sustained, you're making people move slower. They are absolutely worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, they're very, very good. Which probably means we should probably talk about Plague Marines, because we're talking about them. Now,
go on, because then we'll round it up.
Here's the strange take, though. Plague Marines, though, I don't think are Stank Supreme.
I don't think they are.
I
don't think it's because you don't. It's because I don't think you need them.
No, and the thing is, also with Plague Marines, you have to play like an absolute god to get the most out of Plague Marines. They are expensive. They are squishy. They hit like an absolute freight train.
Yes, they do.
You need to know how to get the most out of them. Now, the reason they're here in Nurgle Approves and the ones above it, even though you wouldn't take these on the run without these guys, is because whilst Plague Marines themselves are a consideration whether you take them, if you take Plague Marines, these at the top are not considerations. If Plague Marines are in your list, these are 100% going with them.
Yeah.
Like, not even a question. But Plague Marines themselves, you need to understand, when you take that big 10-man break with the characters, it's like a 300-point commitment. That needs to get value. Which means you need stuff like the Bloat Drone, who's up there at the top with them, to start the trades to make sure you can get a good engagement. A Plague Marine unit will 100%, given the situation, kill more than 300 points in one turn. You will shoot 2 units to death, you will charge and kill a third. But you have to make that scenario happen, and that can be quite hard. So these guys are sometimes, I wouldn't always recommend them for brand new players, in competitive anyway. Obviously run Plague Marines because, it's kind of a bread and butter unit, but manage your expectations. Don't throw them out at the first chance to shoot something, because you'll die in return. You need to make sure you get the value out of these guys properly, but they are really, really powerful. And for my recommended loadout, someone just asked for Craig Hoyland. Thank you very much for the £4.99 super chat. My go-to loadout for Plague Marines is 4 heavy plague weapons, the Plague Fist and the Plasma Gun on the Sergeant. I like 2 Plasma Guns at the moment just because it gives me more dice, so more chance for lethal sustains. And then 2 Blight Launchers. And then your last guy can either have a Bubonic Weapon, an Icon, or a Spewer. That really doesn't matter. That's going to be the first guy probably to die. Again, if you've got full rerolls as well, fish, so anything that's not a 5 or a 6, reroll it. because the chance to get an extra shot more than makes up for it, plus an auto wound. Especially if you're wounding someone on 5s naturally, so something like a T10 vehicle, reroll all those plasma gun shots. Just try and get the 5s and 6s, crit stuff to death, and then 5s to wound with full rerolls as well from either the Rhino itself or from the Stratagem. They are incredibly good. I just think these guys have a bit more of a higher skill ceiling requirement than something that we'll see that will be going in Stank Supreme. Which, do you want to do that next, or do you want to leave that on for a little bit?
We can do that. We can do that next if you want. Yeah, I was just going to say just to back up your point on the Plague Marines. You've got the cost of the 10, then you've got the cost of a Rhino, then you've got the cost of character to go with it, and that's to put one unit together. Yeah. It's like Aiden said, serious investment, and if you misplay it or something gets into it that can wipe that lot out, that's a third. Well, you're kind of talking close to 500 points of your army gone. Yeah. Right?
I feel much more comfortable playing with a 10-man squad in one of the 2 detachments that has on-demand defenses, Champions of Contagion to make them T8, or minus damage in Virulent Vectorum, because that keeps them staying alive a bit longer. So it means you're less likely to get wiped out, which is quite nice. But again,
and instead of parking, sorry, go ahead.
Go on.
No, I was going to just take I know you want to move on to it, but it's just for what used to be a fight first big Plague Marine block, like onto an objective and it's holding it. The fact that you can just you can chevron park 10 Poxwalkers and then park, scout move, advance, some spawn in behind them, or put a drone in behind them, or anything like that. That combination puts a lot of OC on the point. It blocks the space out. If anyone wants to come around, they've got to come around into an awkward position, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper. And you don't need the same. We've got options now to achieve that position that before we had to send a Rhino in.
Yeah. Exactly. So they are very good. And also, don't forget they have the rules where you can spread contagion. So didn't mention that. Yeah, that's still good. That's still good to have.
Yeah, they're amazing. And this, like I said, this isn't saying if it's not in Stank Supreme, it isn't great. Like the top 2 rows are great.
Yeah, they are. So let's go on then. Do you want to take us through deathshroud real quick? I'm just going to stem exactly where they're going to be because we all know.
Yeah, just put them where they're going. Like there's no discussion about this, I'm afraid, anybody. T7, 4 wounds, can drop in 6 away, hits like an absolute truck, more sweep attacks. In Contagion, putting everything onto its invuln or pushing it up to a 6 save, or worse if you've just shot it with a Predator. They are scary. They move faster now. They're 20% quicker than they were. They can now uppy downy in the DLC detachment. These things are terrifying, and if you've got any of your opponents that sees your list that's got these in it, the first thing they're going to worry about are not las cannons, are not mortars, are not PBC entropy cannons. It's probably not even Mortarion. They are going to be worried about these first.
Yeah, they are. 6-inch deep strike is such a horrific mechanic to have to play against, especially because they can
terrifying.
Charge.
They've also made rapid ingress much less important.
Yes.
Because now it doesn't matter. You just chuck some 60-point Poxwalkers into your opponent, and you put all their stuff in contagion range. And also because the Poxwalkers' bases are tiny, you can just charge up behind them and get in stuff there. You just drop these things in 6, and that is your opponent has got to do a lot of math and a lot of just brain power thinking about where am I screening. There's certain detachments you can put, Mortarion's hammer. You could be dropping these things in on the deployment zone, 6 away. If they don't screen that properly, they're screwed. They've got anti-infantry flamers as well, of course, haven't they, Aiden? Right? They're monsters. These are the boogeymen of our list.
And also, don't feel like you have to put characters with them. They work as a 140-point gold beat show.
100%.
Like, you don't have to put characters. Characters make them fantastic. Characters take them to the next level. But in Deathl's Chosen, just a 3-man, and you spend 1 CP and give them 4 rerolls to hit. It's monstrous. It's so good. And someone says, what is a good number of deathshroud, both in unit and number of units? So all I'd say is go only maybe 1 6-man if you're going to take it.
1 6-man.
The rest 3-man's more than enough. Too many 6-mans, too many points in 2 little units. So you can go I do 1 6-man, 1 3-man, 3 3-mans, or 1 6-man, 2 3-mans. That's really what I recommend.
Yeah, I mean, I run in my current DLC list. I'm running a 6, a 3, and a 3. Yeah. But I wouldn't just the point sink is too much, and secondly, you just don't have to do it.
Yeah, and don't run out and buy 18 of these because they'll probably get a bit of a points increase. I don't actually think they need to go up too much. I just think people need to learn to play around them. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if they will. The growth in points change from pre-Codex to post-Codex
is massive. I personally don't see them going up anymore. But the uppy downy ability for you to go, like Notorious, you're right. Like the uppy downy ability as well is either you start them on the table and you go 50-50. I'm going to go second. If I go second and my opponent finishes their first turn move, you've got a turn 1 deep strike effectively.
Yeah,
if you go
on.
No, go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
I'll just say very quickly to Graham because he says I think Death Guard could dominate competitive. I disagree, and we've seen this in a lot. I think they're going to do well in competitive, but they still have all the same weaknesses to do for. They are a slow army that can get played around quite easily. And I think a lot of people just look at the raw damage, the raw stats of this army, and it's very powerful. But when they come to play it, as we've seen in a lot of stream games from professional players at the moment, they've picked up this army for the first time, read the book, gone, this is overpowered, played it, and then got their ass whooped. Like, you still just can't throw it away. Like, it doesn't work like that. We still, like Aiden said, we've still got no crazy movement shenanigans, not regular movement shenanigans. We're still slow compared to pretty much every other book out there. Mortal Wounds and Dev still melt our army, so that still goes through us. And with the exception of a couple of places, you're going to be losing stuff to that. So it's not a given. Don't get me wrong, we are more competitive than we have been ever, I think. Absolutely, and I think we're going to see more success and more Death Guard up higher, but we are certainly not just going to be rolling the top tables. I do worry what Barzero says, though, because there's so much rabble about people wanting to get us nerfed. I worry that GW will cave to the loud masses, even though the stats won't show it. But we'll see. We'll let the stats speak.
Let's see.
I could be completely wrong. Death Guard could destroy everyone. We don't know. But yeah, Deathshroud straight up there. Next up, let's get a bit easier. Plague Surgeon. Febreze, I'm sorry, he's still bad.
Febreze.
Champion's Contagion, he goes to mid. Like, I might, with the enhancement, consider it, maybe even solidly. But as baseline, like, why? Why does he exist? Again, all we wanted him to do was keep resurrecting a model and give her feel no pain. And they couldn't even do that, or they just let him heal anything or res more models. Nope. They give him some weird 4+ crit melee. Like that's why he's just shit. Bye-bye.
He's shit, and we're not talking about him anymore.
Yeah, bye-bye, into Crush tier. Let's go then for Winged Demon Prince as well.
Winged Demon Prince. Solidly pungent.
I think he might be mid. I don't see this.
It might be mid, yeah. No, I think I was being nice.
The problem is he's the exact same points as the Footprints, and we'll do him next.
Hang on. I'll tell you what he is. He's the Predator Annihilator to the Footprints' Destructor.
Yeah, he is. I don't think he's as bad because he can still.
No, he's not. That's why he's in mid. But there's no reason to take him over the other one. Yeah,
his rule to stop units, disincentivize them falling back, because it makes them desperate escape, would be useful if he was infantry, so then he could, you don't want to fall back in case you die, which means you stay in combat, which means you can't be shot, but he's a monster, so you're going to get shot anyway. Like, and he doesn't, he has a strength 7 gun, for some reason, I guess, okay. I don't think you ever see him played. He hasn't got lone up either, so he just dies much easier.
He doesn't have lone up, he's less tough. If Fly was what it used to be, then I could see him actually being really useful, but he's not. He's just a big model that's even easier to shoot because he's got giant wings on his back that's less good for the same points.
Yeah, I would put a hellbrute in over this guy because he's half the cost pretty much.
You know what, that's a really good point. I would too.
If you really like the model, the best thing you can use with this guy is to give him some form of smashy enhancement, like Demon Weapon of Nurgle or Furnace of Plagues, shove him in reserves, have him rapid ingress in, and just go with Deep Strike and just smack some up. But even then...
If you like the model, what you need is a magnet to take the wings on and off.
Yeah, he needs to go down in points, definitely. He does,
definitely. There needs to be a gap. He's nowhere near as good.
But the Foot Demon Prince, however...
Mama!
Where is this? Is this Stank Supreme or is this Nurgle Prince?
I think he might be. We're talking about the models in data sheets versus each other, right? Not in detachments or stuff like that. I think he's Stank Supreme.
Because I'm instantly Stank Supreme pilled on this guy.
I think he's bottom of Stank Supreme.
I run him in Virulent Vectorium where he's got a fight up Feel No Pain, and I need the -1. He's in Virulent Vectorium. He's 100% Stank Supreme. But I don't know if I'm being biased there, or if you agree that he is still Stank Supreme even in the other detachments.
I mean, let's talk about him, right? T12, 8-inch move.
Yes.
Lone op within 3 of an infantry unit. So standing next to deathshroud, he's got lone op.
Yes.
come on in. He gives cover. He reduces CP.
That's the big thing. That is the big thing.
He's basically you gave him the right name. He's Mortarion.
Yeah, he's just good.
Even not in VV, I think he's a beast. I mean, I'm going to run him in DLC as well instead of Mortarion to see, because I suddenly realised what that points change, that extra 185 points gives me so much other scoring stuff, and in fact almost another unit of 5 Blightlord Terminators in addition if I want them, and I still get a T12 CP discounting lone op monster that hits hard. That's got like it's. I personally think it's great. And model versus model, if you look at what we've put into other grades, I don't think he sits in the same grade as the Chaos Spawn, Poxwalkers, and a Predator. Personally,
Yeah, and like I think, yeah. To be honest,
what do you think, chat?
he's. I mean, I play Virulence Vectorum, so he's right at the top for me. He's number 1 for me personally.
He's number 1 for you, right? Yeah.
But I'm biased because I play him in the detachment that makes him the best, because I always get the feel no pain, and then I have amazing strat use for him. I think he's up with the biologist combo. I think he's up with those guys. Stank Supreme. He's so good for what he brings. Toughness 12 is such a nightmare stat line to deal with as well. Lone
Horrible.
up on top. These toughness 12 lone up. What the fuck? Like, that's so stupid. Like, you know what? I'm gonna put him up in Stank Supreme. I would never.
Can I just answer?
List.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, sorry, just very quickly. I was gonna say, he can be in any list, and I'm just like, yeah, that's a good choice. Like, I'm never gonna be upset to see him.
That's what I mean. If you were, if that model is in any list, in any detachment, and if you got forced to take it, are you going to be unhappy?
Oh no! Like, if someone paid me to put this in the list, I'm like, yeah. Yeah, you'll find.
I was just going to answer. Say thank you to Dazza 0187 for a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, very kind of you. But he asked, do you still recommend Flyblown Host for Terminator heavy list, or is Deathlord's Chosen better? That's a really good question. They're doing different things. The way I would look at it as a big Terminator fan is Flyblown can get you into the fight faster with the Terminators, but Deathlord's Chosen has, and yes, it's still the dice element, but the attrition of that detachment in late game, as I'm actually seeing consistently in people talking about their games in the Deathlord's Chosen Discord subgroup that we've got, is people are saying what's happening is they're getting into late game and people have got few models left and they're losing them to mortal wounds.
Yeah.
And then that model's gone, and now suddenly that unit is battle shocked, or they've lost that model, and now they're getting a 15-point swing at end game. Or and for me, I think I'm going to play both, but right now I would go. I think Deathlord's Chosen is better for it. I think it plays into the tough. Now that we're T7 as well, you've got that extra ability to stay on the board longer. Anyway, so I would personally run it in that. But if you just want to get into the fight fast and you want to cover the board quick, then Flyblown's giving you that advantage that you don't get other way around.
Do you want to play board control, or do you want to play War of Attrition? That's what I'd say. If you want to play board control and focus fully on the scoreboard, play Flyblown Host. If you want to focus on like smashing your opponent, grinding them down, mortals everywhere, play Deathlord's Chosen. It depends on what you enjoy. Both are good though. Both are perfectly viable. Yeah.
Very cool. Good. Thanks for the question, though.
Okay, next one, Dave. You want to pick one?
Yeah, let's go for Land Raider.
Ooh, okay. What do you think for Land Raider?
So it's a really interesting one. It's arguably as a it's got 4 las cannons on it. So and it can carry troops, and it's T12, and it's very tough. I think where its downfalls are you don't need to whack Terminators in it now because they can drop out of the sky 6 inches away.
Yeah.
If you want long range, if you want anti-vehicle firepower, you're probably better off now taking Blighthaulers for the +1 to wound, +1 to hit, which is really nice, and they've got lethal melters on them now, which is actually really, really cool, and they're cheaper. And they're more utility because you've got more of them and they can move around faster. I think it's still a big model to not get yourself traffic jammed, and on certain boards, it can be UKTC specifically. it still can be tricky to not have more than one deployment zone place to place it.
Yes.
I think it's actually maybe less useful now than it was pre-Codex.
I still think it's solidly pungent, and I don't think the question of Land Raider is Land
Oh,
Raider.
I don't think it's bad. I'm just saying I don't think it's top 2.
No, I don't think it's top 2. But here's the thing: I think the Land Raider. Here's the weird thing. This is my weird take on Land Raiders. The Land Raider isn't.
Sorry, Zito.
The Land Raider isn't good based on is this a good unit. The Land Raider is completely
Yes.
gets its use down to you as a player. Are you an aggressive player that loves to put pressure on straight away? The Land Raider is an amazing tool for that. We have seen
And detachment.
And there's Mortarion's hammer, etc. But we have seen Zito playing this back in Index before this, and it's been working wonders for him. He just puts the pressure on his opponent straight away, drops off some Terminators, he then fills it up with Plague Marines for a second wave coming out of it. It can do a lot of work, but you have to build specifically not only your list, but also your playstyle around the Land Raider. It is a build around, possibly more so than Mortarion in that regards. But like, I have seen people run Land Raiders, and if you commit to the idea of a Land Raider, which is full on aggression, I have seen Zito go into games where he shouldn't be winning, but he's put his opponent on such a defensive back foot that they're struggling to fight, and then by the end of the game, Zito's basically got not much left, but he's still won because his opponent's not been able to score anything because the aggression has kept them on the back foot the entire game. So I think this is less of a question of is this a good unit, because that itself is questionable. Is a Land Raider like statistically a good unit? Probably not. But is it a good unit when it fits your playstyle and is used correctly? It clearly is, because people get results with it.
And that's what we're talking about here is how does this unit stack up versus the other units in this tier list at this point? I completely agree with you. And yeah, definitely have seen, like you say, people like Zito run it in a great way and just slam it down people's throats and deliver death. So it can totally be done. But I think when we stack it unit for unit, that's probably where it sits.
Yeah. Okay, next up, let's go for the Mythic Blighthauler. I think these guys have got they're so underrated at the moment. I think these guys are fantastic. 90 points again, super cheap like the original Bloat Drone at the top. Demon Engine, got the 5 pin vulnerable. It now hits on 2s versus monsters and vehicles because you get +1 to hit. I love it with a lot of Virulence. I know everyone's looking at a lot of Virulence and it's like, give it blast weapons, but just point at something for these little guys. Now they hit on 2s and real 1s. Like, you're hitting the damn thing. And then you get +1 to wound, which basically you're wounded at worst case 4s. A lot of the times you wound on 3s. And if you get into anything like a Rhino or something, you can wound on 2s. And you're AP 5 in contagion range.
Agreed.
I think this little guy is underrated. I've got 2 on my list at the moment, and every time I've shot them, I've been like, hell yeah, little guy. Like, one of them one-shot one of Steven's Forge fiends, just like, gone. I was like, hell yeah, little guy. And then 90 points again. I don't care if it dies. It's so cheap. It's so annoying. And they're also nice and short, so these guys can hide in buildings as well and do actions and stuff like that, whereas the Bloat Drone can struggle. I think a lot of people are not giving these guys the time of the day. And also, let's not forget, this thing is like £15 for a model. That is like the cheapest model GW do.
Yeah, and they can come on from reserve and deliver some serious hate into people. You know, they can score you points. They're fast. They're not that big base wise, and you know the fact that you've got melters, cracks, and bile spurts, and you can still use it to tank shock somebody as well. I think it's 90 points for all of those things.
It's like got AP2 melee for some reason. It's only 1 damage.
Yeah, I know.
It's AP3. You got Magical Save. It's like, okay, cool, take some damage for free, and yeah, it can tank shock and stuff.
And lethal,
and it can smoke, which is actually quite important. It has a smoke keyword, which a lot of the demon engines don't. And
it is Mario Kart, yeah.
Yeah, as Natalie and Necro said at the exact same time, it's nice and short. No wonder Aiden's biased. 5'7", 5'7". 6. Fuck off, not 6.
I love that. That just came through clear as a bell in the background.
God damn it.
Nice one, that. Let's with Mr. Don Houston.
AP2 with a contagion, which is still funny though for a little gribbly, just like really funny.
Mr. Don Houston has done a very kind 777 and has just said crabs with an exclamation mark. So crabs it is. Crabs
is so undercosted at the moment. Why this thing is 165, I have no clue. The biggest problem the Defiler faces is being a Defiler. It is big. But it now has an amazing rule. Stripping cover is genuinely amazing. They make amazing pieces. The biggest problem with Defilers as well is players looking at those giant claws and wanting to go and snip stuff. That is not how you play Defilers. A defiler is a battle cannon and a heavy bolter and stuff with claws that can defend itself. It's a Lehman Russ with claws. This thing can sit in your tank line next to your predators, like, oh, look, we're having a good time. And then when someone wants to come and pressure your gun line, that's bad. Your tanks get tagged. Oh no. But now there's a big crab babysitting them. Do you want to come and fight the las cannon crab? Because it's melee stats on las cannons at strength 16. And just stripping cover is so good. And let's not forget again, it's a blast weapon, strength 10, flat 3 damage. It's 1/6.
And the brilliant thing about stripping cover is it isn't tied to Death Guard units.
Yep, you can strip cover for allies.
It just says strip cover.
Yep, so you can use it for just make war dog executioners pretty useful. But here's the thing as well. It's also T11, which is a weird breakpoint. Even in the mirror, the heavy blight launch drones don't get to wound it on 3s now. They need 4s. And at range, they're going to need 5s, which means bear in mind, that battle cannon's winning them back on 3s. So actually, it's a very good anti-death guard tech for the mirror match for fighting against bloat drones. The biggest issue is just, again, moving the damn thing. And I think when you play with it a bit more, you get used to moving it. It's not too bad.
Yeah, if you're King Crab, then you will have no problem with it whatsoever. And what I would say is if you're new to playing Death Guard or you haven't taken one of these before, just go and search Don Hewson in the Discord, and if you want to know about kind of defilers and how to play them, that's your man. If you see any of us saying King of Crabs or Crab King, that's your man to go and talk to. But 165 points for everything you just reeled off. What a bargain.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to Stank Supreme. They could do though, because they are undercosted as fuck.
They are undercosted AF right now.
They're also a demon engine, so they're 5 up invulnerable. The bloat drones up here. I can't have the bloat drone up there and not
14 wounds.
Yeah.
OC5.
OC5 as well. It tank shocks as well at T11, so 11 dice.
And I mean, I know you're not going to use a lot of them, but it's weapon range of loadouts. What are we on? Battle cannon, combi bolter, combi weapon, havoc launcher, reaper autocannon, twin heavy bolter, twin heavy flamer, and twin las cannon, defiler claws, and scourge for extra attacks.
Yeah, you don't have to put the defiler on a base, guys. That's the soul grinder, not the defiler. The defiler doesn't have a base. You're fine with it.
And the soul grinder has gone to heaven, hasn't it? For us.
Oh yeah, we can't take it. Yeah,
we can't take it. So
I think the defiler also works. But so if you were debating putting one predator or one defiler in your list, you had points of both. I'd put the defiler in because I think the defiler works better as a solo.
I'd put the defiler in as well
because stripping cover is arguably better than situational +1 AP because against only infantry that works against anything. Plus itself is just a bigger, scarier model and can get a bit more work done. It can also. Like I said, it protects you. It protects your own backline. It's normally you have to keep a unit back to sort of screen and protect your vehicles. He is it himself. It's good. It's straight up good.
And also remember the belt cannon's flat 3 and it's D6 plus 2 shots. So it's D6 plus 3. So even versus an autocannon, you're getting more shots pretty much off the ground guaranteed, and it's blast, and it's flat 3 damage.
It is. Now, the biggest problem with the Defiler is whether you like the model, because a lot of people, it's a very Marmite model. I think it's awesome. I think it's so funny. I used to play Dawn of War, that's what got me into it. So I'm going to keep him in Stanks Room. I think this does mean this bloat drone comes down to the top and Nurgle approves.
Yep.
Because I don't think that bloat drone is on par with the stuff that's up there at the moment.
Aidan, by the way, if 7 more people tune in, we'll have hit 400 concurrent viewers for the first time.
Hell yeah, tune in, everybody.
Anyway, really cool. And Dwok, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, I love the channel. Keep up the great stuff. Painting a PBC by listening. What are your thoughts on that unit? Well, I think that's a great segue.
All right, Mr. PBC. Whoa, I am someone that enjoys PBCs. I made my entire channel off the back of me making the PBCs work at the start of 10th edition.
Yeah. How many did you used to play?
I used to play all 3. And then we've got Don Hewson in the chat. I used to play like 12 in a list.
Yeah, used to play 12 of them, yeah.
Yeah, 12 of the damn things. You monster. That's the reason we have the rule of 3, by the way, everyone. If you don't know, it's because of Plague.
It's Don Hewson's fault.
And Don Hewson, so that's why these are famous. They are a bit too expensive right now for me.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think they're a bad unit. I think they actually are decent. The problem is 3 of them is a lot. Like, that's a lot of points. They are really expensive. Now, I think there's a play for like one of them in like Morty's Hammer or something like that. I still, because this thing, indirect is such a good tool. I love indirect. I used to do so many Boil Blight indirect plays. It is crazy how good indirect
It's such a good gun.
I just wish they were still 180 or came down some points. I don't think they need to be 195.
Yeah. 195, I would want the mortal wound effect to have been much more achievable.
Yeah, 5s and 4s would have been much more happy with.
That would have then I would have been much more happy with them.
Yeah. I'm happy the entropy cannon's got the extra range. I like that. I also like, again, spewers or entropy cannons is
405.
Yeah, like literally either are fine. Either of them are fine. Spitters are more of a bully roll out or defending your own home objective. Entropy cannons are okay as well for some sort of anti-tank. I like
36 inch. Yeah, I agree. I think I mean, I was going to just say that I just wanted to jump back to your point about the 36 inch range is. It should always have been 36. Getting that 12 inches back is just
get in.
That's what I'm saying. It's incredible. So yeah, getting 12 inches back wasn't a buff. It was just putting it where it should be. That didn't justify any way towards going to points going up again.
Yeah. Now I do think you can make a list of these work. You bring up Lord of Virulence stuff, but I think I'm not going to put them in bad because they're not bad. Indirect as a tool just cannot be bad, and it's still a big chunky tank with a 2-up save. If it goes to 180 back again, I'd put it in Nurgle Approves. Right now, I'm going to put it at the top of Solidly Pungent, because it's not a bad unit. With all the good stuff that is cheaper up here, it is hard to justify more than one, and I'd take one as a tech piece. And again, I think they work better in other detachments. Like Morty's Hammer can make great use, because you just pick a unit, hammer it with the indirects, you can make good use of it there. But in like Virulent Vectorium, like, I'm never realistically taking this thing, which is sad.
No. Yeah, I'm agree. I couldn't. I can't. I would love to play these, but at the moment I can't justify it.
Yeah, I wish they were a little bit cheaper, and then I'd be happy. But again, I'm also currently playing attachments that don't really need these as much. I think in Morty's Hammer these have a better home. Hence why Don's doing quite well with one of them on his backfield. But it's an okay tank. It's just like 195. Like, come on, they bear in mind when the edition first came out, Dave. These were 175. When Death got their worths, they're actually more expensive than they started somehow. It's just a bit much.
Yeah. Cody, welcome to being a Plague Marine. Thank you very much for joining. Great to have you here. I'm just gonna, for everyone who knows, I'm just gonna let Death Card Cat out because she's meowing the crap out of me down here, and it's really annoying. Back in a sec. Carry on. Choose another one, Aiden.
Hugh, no, the Mortal Wound. There is no persistent effects on the Play BC. I wish Goonhammer never made that fucking article because I'm sick of the bloody chaos it's caused. There is no persistent effect on a Plague Burst Crawler. It is one and done. You roll it, done. You don't pick it up the next turn.
Dog just walked in.
I'm raging about the Goonhammer article talking about PVCs and making everyone think that they can be persistent effects when they're not. Like,
no.
It's a one-off. It's not your fault, Hugh. I love you, Hugh. It's not your fault. But Goonhammer, why did you do that article? It's so stupid.
And especially for a public, like an outlet that's got a lot of viewers and a lot of people will go to. That was a very big oversight to just get.
Yeah, just dumb. Right, okay, let's try and rattle off a few quick ones here. So, Noxious Blightbringer, he's weird. I think he's okay. I think he goes with a type.
Solidly.
He has
uses. I'm with you.
Shamble Rot, he's obviously a great enhancement carrier. But I think that's kind of, he's a build around. You take him for access to enhancements on things like Poxwalkers. Outside of that, again, you're fighting against these two up here, plus the next third one we're going to talk about, the Foul Blightspawn. But he's not bad. I don't hate him. I think he's just okay.
I would say another easy one is, I would say Blight Lords are Nurgle approves.
I agree. I think these guys are still solid. I think I'd probably put them around about the blighthauler area. I think these are on par with blighthauls and stuff. Below Plague Marines for sure. But yeah, about there. What do you think?
Because quite simply, if you're going, if I need Terminators in my list, you're going to take Deathshroud. If you're building out a wider Terminator list, then these guys will come in and they are your second choice Terminators. And even as I'm only talking from my personal experience, but as someone who is a super diehard Terminator fan, at the moment I'm struggling to go for how much our army costs now. Is why I would take those to hold an objective versus some Poxwalkers and some Spawn, or some Plague Marines at more cost who can put things into Affliction from range. I'm not saying they're not unplayable, and they are great, and I will have to do a better job personally of working on that. But they are the second tier Terminators for me.
I think an easy way to make these guys better and nerf at the same time is to take 10 points off the Blight Lords, stick it onto the Deathshroud. 150 for 3, and then these guys drop down 10.
Or make Blight Lords OC2.
That is my dream. Or give us a way
That's
to
the
do it.
fix.
That is my
That's
dream.
the fix.
But they are much better than they used to be. We've got to accept
They are good. They are good, and they're not junk. But we're talking in their mix. Remember, it's units versus units, not units inside a certain detachment or a build.
Yeah, and I'd still personally take Blight Lords. I put them there over like PBCs at the moment and stuff. I think they have a role. Their shooting can actually be quite nasty, to be honest. So I quite like them. I just, again, for me, it's just a case of every time I've built a list, like that. If I had a couple more points, they'd be like the next consideration. But I just always run out of points too quickly, which is like
I do as well. And really quickly, Chayuk Yang says, are 3 BLTs bad? It's not that they're bad. It's very expensive for just 3. And if you've only got 3, what you're probably doing with them is like sitting on an objective to guard it. Versus they're not actually going to do a huge amount outside of that until later game. And for the cost of those, you might as well take some 3 Deathshroud who are going to actually do an absolute truckload of work for you.
And you lose your special weapons as well because you can take a spear and give up your blade as well, which is not what you want to do.
And if you want the benefit of the extra strength and like that, then you need to put a character with them, and then suddenly you're just piling points into a 3-man unit, which isn't really much point.
Yeah. If they came down a little bit in points, if they were like 350 for the 10 instead of 370, I think they are at the moment. Then
385, I think they are.
385, yeah. So they need to come down to like if they're 360 or something, I would be very much considering that they'd be very good at that point. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Then we've got up next Foul Blightspawn.
What other easy ones have you got? Foul Blightspawn?
Foul Blightspawn, I think, is Nurgle approves. He's not as damaged up to there. He has great tech uses, though. If you're in a melee rushdown meta, being able to shut down advances and charges, obviously having on-demand fight first in those metas is great. I just think this guy is a little bit more matchup dependent than the other two. Like, these two will always get value because damage equals damage. Whereas this guy, if you come across tower with this guy, like, yeah, you do shut down assault. So, like, assault guns are pretty nice. You shut that down, but you're not going to be getting as much value out of him with the fights first, etc. like that.
Agreed. He's definitely not the definite go-to mix-up. The tag team. He's been kicked out and downgraded to another wrestling federation, and the Malignant Plaguecaster has definitely stepped in.
Yeah, but he is very good. Don't get me wrong. If you
he's great.
If you're on like an Emperor's Children meta, like just having a 9-inch bubble of you can't advance here, get fucked.
Amazing.
It's really good.
And if you're running lots of Plague Marine groups, it's probably good to have, like Aiden talked about earlier, if you're running 3 10s or something, you're definitely going to want the Biologist and a Malignant Plaguecaster in one. You might have a Malignant Plaguecaster and a Foul Blightspawn in another, or a Foul Blightspawn and, another character in there. So he's definitely got a place, and he is still really good. His flame is still great. So, don't sleep on that.
Yeah, definitely don't sleep on it. He's still real good. Then we've got let's go for Typhus. Typhus for me is still like near the top of Nurgle approves. At the moment, I just can't fit him in because some of the other characters are better. But Typhus himself only got better. He got an extra attack.
So like for like, is Typhus? Typhus is better than a Foul Blightspawn. He's better than Chaos Spawn. He's better than Poxwalkers. He's better than Blight Lords. I don't know.
I'm going to move Spawn up, actually. I think Spawn are a bit lower.
Yeah, I think they are. They're definitely better than a Foul Blightspawn. And
I think he's, to be honest, he's near Spawn for me because they're roughly around the same points-ish. They both can do secondaries pretty well because he can deep strike in. The mortal wounds is just really nice to have, and like there's some matches where you really want those mortal wounds. And now with the 6 attacks, it's flat 3 damage. Like he's still really good, even if it's just a solo.
He's a beast. Yeah. I think he's still. I think he's still very important. But perhaps he's less need than he was in pre-Codex.
Yeah, I agree. But the main problems for him is this boy here, Lord of Contagion.
He's everyone's problem.
Oh, good lord, he's going straight to the top. This guy, okay,
he's amazing.
Very quick caveat: do not spam these; they are very expensive. I can see 2, but I honestly only think you need 1.
I'm and we all know, like I describe my style of play as sledgehammer, Death Guard. When I played the Space Wolves game just recently, and I dropped a 6-man with the Lord of Contagion and a 3-man with the Lord of Contagion, and got them, and they both charged in on 6s and destroyed like what was in front of them. Like that can do that reliably, but like Aiden said, if you're only running 2 groups of them, you don't necessarily need to then spend another 220 points on both of those guys, especially if the rest of your list is building around blast weapons or needing to see the middle objective, and you just want the Lord of Virulence for that, or you just want to drop Typhus in because you're getting some extra mortal wounds and you've got -1 to hit. Like, it's going to be list dependent, but you are 100% taking one of these and 6 deathshroud in a list.
He buffs the squad of deathshroud so much more than Typhus does because he's giving him lance and sustain.
Definitely.
And he keeps like a truck himself. Not to mention he gets back up on a 2-up because
Flat 3, yeah.
The fun thing for me though is like, it's in my game recently. This guy came in 6-inch deep strike into a plague burst crawler. The Lord of Contagion one-shot it himself because I dropped T9. I was strength 10 because I had Furnace of Plagues, and then lance. So I wounded a plague burst crawler on Tuesday, one-shot it. Then 3 deathshroud plus a Lord of Contagion charged mine. -1 damage kicked in, kept me alive. I then killed them all back.
Amazing.
Then he made a charge into a heavy blight launcher drone, one-shot that, and he was just walking through my opponent's army, just like, yeah, I'm strength 10 with lance and flat 3 damage.
The fact that one of these, the fact that one of these with a group can survive getting hit by something really heavy, can then maybe survive in getting feel no pains on him as well, and then be on his own, and then fight something, survive it, kill some stuff, get killed, stand back up on a 2-up, go back into another unit, hit it again, or like sweep attack 10 attacks into a little pissant infantry unit and destroy that, then hold a point again after dying. Like 110 points for that. He's one of the best characters in the game.
He's so good. Like,
just
the amount of damage
one of the best
he
characters
brings,
in the game.
he is this Smash character. He is. He's everything I want Chaos Lords to be. He is an incredible. If you come near this guy, if you engage in melee combat with this guy, you're going to get your head caved in.
Yeah.
And that is what I think Chaos Lords should be to me. Big, slow,
100%.
beefy, massive weapon. Bang, get away from me. Really, really, really love Lord of Contagion. So we're down to quite a few little ones now.
We have another super chat. Adam Striston, $5 super chat, said Lord of Poxes with foul Blightspawn and 4 heavy plague weapon marines. Any legs? ? Aiden, what do you think?
It's a lot of character points to put with a 5 marine unit, but that unit will be really good at holding your natural objective.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, no worries. You can have 10 OC, well 12 OC with the characters. You can't be shot outside 18. You can hang behind the wall, and you're basically unchargeable because you're going to have fights first. And the Lord of Pox is going to hit really, really hard. So it's really good if you want to just hold your natural objective. That is a great use for that. But just be aware, it's a lot of points investments for 95 points of Plague Marines. But it is pretty damn good. Just be aware of that. So again, I like him just with a 5-man without the 5 Blightspawn, but I use that aggressively to flip my opponent's primary, whereas the one you're suggesting there would be more of a defensive tool, which is still good, but again, just bear in mind it's a lot of characters for just 5 Marines to bodyguard. Speaking of which, I'm going to quickly do a lot of Poxy then while Dave's not here. This guy is towards the back end of Nurgle Approves. I'm going to move Poxwogs up a little bit. They're a bit more useful than these guys. Let's go there. You're going to come up as well. I like you a lot more. Yeah, I've got that. I think the Lord of Poxes has uses. He's a pretty decent beat character. Again, the issue is the Lord of Poxes is fighting with these 2 guys for spots at the top.
Yep.
And that is the biggest problem with Lord of Poxes. Great model as well. Fantastic model. Love the model completely. But I do think he's outshined because the amount of, if you just want a squad that's going to have like a 5-man, run onto objective, kill it, clear, he's the best character for it. If you want a big squad that you can invest in and get the most damage maximum possible, you don't replace these 2. What do you think, a lot of Poxes, Dave?
I agree with you. I'm sure everything you just said, I'd probably agree with. That final point is the main one. He's struggling for a spot versus the other guys. If you are running multiple units of Plague Marines, he's definitely got a slot in there. I think Don said it earlier. He's got a different role to them as well in what he does. He does hit incredibly hard. He's very tough for a non-Terminator character. So really pleased to have him. Really good to give out the 18 effectively lone op. So yeah, a great addition to our book. But definitely not better than Typhus or in this instance on a model for model basis.
I think he's on par with the Blight. He's the same problem with Blight Lords at the moment. It's a good unit, but there is just better options, and our points just can't seem to fit him in just yet.
Yeah, he's struggling to get his place at the minute.
Yeah, I think that's where it is for me. Then we've got let's do the big 3. So Lord of Virulence is also up in stinks. Lord of Virulence is up in Stank Supreme.
He
too.
certainly is.
He's amazing. Giving blast weapons full rerolls, all that you got buffs the defilers, buffs these things which we're going to get into. Even
Let me just give
go on.
No, I was going to just quick. So Craig Hoyland in chat just asked, how come characters are in S tier but PMs they go with are not? What we're talking about here is data sheets versus data sheets in the overall mix of our codex and usefulness in the army on a data sheet by data sheet basis, not that model in a certain detachment, that model in a certain list. We're talking like about its importance in functionality into the army overall.
Yeah, so you might not always take Plague Marines, but if you do take Plague Marines, you're always going to probably bring these characters with them. So they are more auto-included than the Plague Marines, because the Plague Marines are the debatable part. These are not debatable. Same with the Rhino. That's why. But yeah, LOV, yeah. Again, reroll all hits for shooting. Fantastic. Blight Lords love it. Deathshroud love it. Such a good ability to have. Picking a target, just giving your entire army reroll ones to hit. Again, don't just look at blast weapons for this. I love the haulers with this little thing. You can use on literally anything. Like Plague Marines love it. If you don't have access to full rerolls to hit, still good to have. But I mean, like combination with the next unit we'll talk about, it just makes them super reliable.
It's obscene. The fact that he's got that 30-inch range to choose a thing. I know it used to be his old ability was just visible to him, but 30 inches is well enough to get what you need to do here. The fact his power fist has now gone down to weapon skill 2, really good, which is super important. So he's now actually doing stuff with that. I'm still annoyed that his spewer though has got 2 nozzles on it, but only gets one. But he's awesome. And he's T7, obviously 4 up. He's only OC1, but leadership 6, and I mean, he adds so much weight to the book, and you can run him solo, you can run him attached to things.
Yeah, he's very good though. He's up there definitely. Not as good as LOC natively, but in terms of support, he's probably better. Let's do the fetid blow.
Strong boy, $2 Canadian super dollar. I'm going to invent that. The Canadian super dollar is what we're going to have. He says it's okay to simp for the LOV. He's my hero.
Fair play. Heavy blight launcher drone. So we're down to 3 now. Is this Stank Supreme or is this very top of Nurgle Prus? Because I've had strange experiences. I don't think it's as overpowered as people are making out. I think it's very good, and it probably is a bit too cheap. But people are making out like this is the second coming of Jesus Christ himself. And quite frankly, guys, it's not that amazing. It's very good, but it's not like, oh my god, this is meta-defining, game-breaking. Like, Exocrines have existed for a long time, and they are good, don't get me wrong, and they are in every nid list, which makes me think he probably is Stank Supreme. But I don't think he's as crazy as some people think. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you very much for the gifted membership there, Lazy Chicken. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What do you think, Dave?
Go on. I think you've got a bit more to say. Go on.
I really like them. I have 3 in my list. And when you shoot at stuff like...
you do.
The thing is, I know I'm biased, because here's the thing. I have Virulent Vectorum. I don't roll low shots, because I re-roll everything. But I've played against people who've been playing Mortarion's Hammer, and they've shot me, and they've rolled a 1, and it's got 3 shots. You are paying 100 points for 3 flat 3 damage shots. Do you know what has flat 6 of those shots, Dave? This Predator here. Like, I don't think it's as overpowered. I think it's very good. I still think for 100 points, you slam 3 in a list, especially if you're Virulent Vectorum, because just reroll all the shots anyway. In there, it's amazing. But I don't think it is as everyone else in the game will have you believe it's up here at the moment. And I don't know if I agree with that take. I really don't. Okay. What do you think?
I think it is up there. I think it's for all the reasons that the other drones are good. This thing has got 36-inch range, lethal, AP2, flat 3, strength 10 shots with blast. And yes, sometimes you're going to roll 3 hits in a turn. But you're more than likely to be rolling much higher than that on average. And over the course of a game where it's sitting at the back, doing screening, threatening objectives if people move on to them, with the ability to just kill elite infantry, kill vehicles, destroy rhinos, and as we talked about earlier, actually, we had a really good discussion in the thread. If you pop, and this is just one example, but if you pop a rhino the sequencing rule says that before the model is destroyed and removed from play, you have to disembark the troops. So thank you for the guys in chat for that conversation. That was really, really useful. That then means that the then spreading affliction happens before the spread affliction. For me, as like Deathl's Chosen fan, having 3 of these things just hovering at the back, screening out my backfield if I need them to, then moving into firing positions, getting the benefits from an LOV. Like even without all those things, the fact that it spreads affliction and the flat 3 damage, I think it's a monster. If Top of Nurgle approves, this is in the lowest case possible. If Top of Nurgle approved is our other ones, this thing can do all the stuff they can do, but has much higher kill power. I think psychologically plays much more, preys on our opponent more. I think they're much more concerned about them, and I think people will make silly decisions to try and get them.
Okay, that's a fair point.
So that for me is why it's in Stanks. It doesn't have to be at the top of it. It could be further down.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't think it disposes the. It definitely is better than Lord of Contagion. That guy is so cracked. I don't think it's better than Deathshroud.
No. No, it's not. It's not. I think it's below Demon Prince. I think it's. I arguably you could say in like for general usability in the I think it's probably there. Because once again I can see those. If you weren't taking Marines, then therefore arguably the characters below it you wouldn't need.
Yeah.
This thing can go into every single detachment. Even just one of them will be in every single detachment.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I'll give it some Supreme for that then. You are right. Every list I've built does have like 2 or 3 of them in it because they're just a 100-point shooting platform. And they do the thing that Death Guard don't have great of, which is that sort of mid-range, decent AP shooting firepower. And I think the thing that makes these really good as well, and this is the weird thing with this Codex, is this thing loves to be paired with this thing, Defiler, and this thing, Predator Destructor. Them together are an unholy trinity of shooting. They are indeed. They kill everything. If you shoot the Defiler first, then you shoot the Predator, and then this thing just shoots last, it just kills everything.
Aiden, one other thing to point out. Have you looked at the number at the top of the screen?
435? Hell yeah.
Guys, just to be clear, this is the most concurrent viewers we've ever had in a stream. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching this on repeat, please like, comment, subscribe. It really, really helps us out. And thank you to everyone that's joined as a member tonight. Yeah, great to have you all here. It's a good time for Death Guard.
It's a very good time.
Which one of these guys? Is there anyone in chat? First person to shout. Which one do you want done first? Plague Bong or the big boy?
Last. You gotta say the best to last.
Okay, fine. Okay.
All right.
Okay then. Go on.
You take Mortarion away.
Okay.
You played with him. I actually have not played with Mortarion yet.
So the only reason I'm not putting him in Stank Supreme, and actually we're talking about him. Well, no. Actually, I think this is still the only reason. I think he has to go to the top of Nogle's approved. I personally will probably be playing him in almost every list I play, but you don't have to play Mortarion.
He's in a great spot.
He's in an absolutely killer spot, but he is 380 points. And I find this really tough to say because my gut is whack him into Stank Supreme, no problem. But arguably, you would put a heavy blight launcher drone into every single list more than you would Mortarion.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
I think I love him. I think he's a massive force multiplier. I think he's much better now than he was in pre-Codex world. I think I personally think he's fantastic. But if I'm trying to be a bit more objective about it, I think you need him in every list. He's comparatively less important, perhaps, than some of the others. He might be in the bottom of Stank Supreme. I'll let you have a bit of a decision on that one.
It's a weird one for me because I think he's very good. The main thing in Mortarion, I think he's much more fun. I think Mortarion is more fun.
Definitely, his fun factor's gone through the roof.
For me, I think he sits around the Plague Marine Predator Destructor tier here. I think he's like Plague Marines. Like you either commit to taking them and take the support of it, or you don't really bother. And I think it's the same. There's a good place for Mortarion to be. You either take Mortarion, consider it in your list, and build around it, or you don't. And I don't think either is a bad choice. I think if you want to make Mortarion work, you 100% can. I think you have a lot of fun with him as well. There's a lot of tricks it opens up. This is the thing. Playing with Mortarion is a complete different playstyle playing Death Guard because it unlocks all these weird tricks for you. And I just for me, I can't take him because I'm footprints pilled at the moment. Like I take Mortarion every time, but I know I want to play this guy at some point because he's really cool with all the tricks you can do.
See, for me, and once again, it's because I'm very much my head is in Deathlord's Chosen at the moment, and that's not why I've got him in there. But I've got him in there because suddenly what he's giving me is a second fight on death. He's giving me I can now push 5. I can now chase you if you move away from me with Terminators to get extra movement on you. I can just move into you and magnify my mortal wound output just by putting units into contagion range, which is very easy around him. The fact he's got 24-inch shooting on both his weapons now means I've got extra guns into things. The sweep attack is now a marine shredder, or even a bigger unit shredder if you need it to be for elite infantry. So he works well in my current playstyle, but I'm trying to be objective and go, in every detachment, is he as valuable as some of the other things?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think he's a good unit, though. I think he definitely
he is great. And remember, like we said, the top 2 rows here are awesome.
Yeah, they are. Again, the top 2 rows are awesome. Like, all this is good. Even this is decent. Like, it's just the mid-change line and below that we don't really care. And again, these 5 are they've historically never been great, so that's fine. But we just brings us into our last one, Mr. Dave, which is the
you can lead this one away, because obviously I've had one of these for a while, and you've played it. You know, you've played it on stream. And also but I'm not taking this back at all in any way, what shape or form. I'm regretting doing it. But the reason I said to Aiden is give this to somebody is because I was sure this thing was never going to survive the Codex, and I've now bought another one and I'm having it commission painted right now because I was like, we do need this, and I will let Aiden talk about it.
Yeah. So the Miasmic Malignifier is probably on par with Lord of Contagion. Maybe I think he actually supersedes him.
Can we give it a new tier, bong tier?
You know what? That is a great idea. Let's put a new one in. Add a row above. Let's call it Bong Lord. Okay, so the reason this thing is so good is because when you show up to a table with a Plague Bong, you're not just saying to my opponent, I've brought a Plague Bong. You're saying to an opponent, my balls are so big like this bong, I am willing to play 115 points down and beat your ass, because I will smoke this bong all game, and I will still beat you while intoxicated from the fumes of my own Plague Bong.
Exactly.
The Plague Bong is not a tactic, it is a statement. You are about to get bongulated, and you will enjoy it. Okay? You will be bongulated, I will win this game, and
you're going to be a meme because I had this on the table and I beat you.
Yeah, I'm going to have you on the front page of Reddit. That I will take your scalp and post you on the internet as an embarrassment. Yep. Your wife will read it. Your wife will leave you. She will take the kids. You will be fired from your job because you'll walk in. Your boss will be like, Greg, did you honestly lose to a Plague Bong? And you'll have to go, yes, sir. And he'll just be like, there's the door, mate. Get out.
You won't even go to... No, the reason you'll lose your job is because you won't even go to work, because you'll be that devastated and embarrassed that you couldn't even show your face in the office because of what would have happened.
That is true. Therapists actually prescribe the Plague Bong to people suffering from depression, because to win with the Plague Bong is the ultimate form of serotonin release. You can't get happier than winning a game with the Plague Bong. Okay?
And when I'm the other side of the table doing my customary Vanguard tactics selfie across the table, you'll notice that it's really not me that's in shot with you. It's the Plague Bong.
Oh god, people are wanting bongulated t-shirts. What you want? You want to say? Get bongulated?
Oh no, Plague Bundos is definitely going in. We're creating it with. I'm definitely going to add. That's definitely going into it with Plague Bonged.
Yeah. So, and if you ever show up with a pair of Plague Bongs, then not only do you have a massive pair, you just
win.
You just win. Like you just win the game. Yeah. So like that is the finalized tier list.
If Dave Irving is still in chat, then Dave, it's right for UKTC new ruling, right? And you're going to FAQ it that if someone turns up with 2 Plague Bongs in a list, they just win round 1.
But think about it, guys. Why do so many events ban fortifications? Because they're scared of the Plague Bong. Because they don't want to have the drama of, hey, I went to a UKTC event, lost to Plague Bong, lost me wife, lost me kids, lost me job. Like, it's too much drama for them. So, for me personally, like, screw everything else. Just take a Plague Bong. You don't need a Primarch. You don't need a lot of Contagion. Like, it's so good.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a series of t-shirts which you guys can buy, and you can hand out to your opponent. Will make them see that I got bongulated, and then you can just give it to your opponent, and they have to wear it if they lose.
That would be so fun. I got bongulated.
Now, but Ian, just on this though, what is its ability?
It actually has a 12-inch deep strike setup denial, which actually is not bad. Like
which given that you put the plague bong down and then like the pipe unit, which have got to be in a coherency, but those two things between them with 12-inch deep strike denial actually pretty much cover most deployment zones. It's quite funny.
There you go. I'm gonna put get bongulated up in the chat there.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I want to say I got to put it in lowercase.
Yeah, get it up there. Get bongulated. There we go.
So if people in the chat right now would like to do the channel a massive favor, please screenshot the screen right now, post this to Reddit, and actually like tell them I'm being serious, because it'll be really funny. So if someone wants to go ahead and do that, you feel free.
Oh Lord.
We can bongulate people together. So.
Yep.
But yeah, I think we have done a good job here, Mr. Dave. We are very over time.
I agree.
I appreciate you for sticking with Mr. Dave.
No, don't. I was in this for the long haul. Don't worry. Like, and the fact that 300, we've had consistently, I mean it, about 380 to 400 plus people for 2 hours is amazing. So guys, thank you all so much for joining us. What is also really good about this is we'll screen grab this and save it. You guys do the same, because I think what will be interesting is if we come back to this in about 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And come back and look and see how it's changed based on maybe some data slate stuff. I don't know, points changes, but also when we've all got reps in. So I think when we can all discuss this further. We can look in the Discord, see how it's all going, and see if this list still holds up.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, we are all still learning this book. We're not just us.
It's early days.
Exactly. Everyone has been learning this book and just still messing around with stuff. For all we know, the icon bearer could be the secret tech. It's not, but
no, but it might be. But who knows?
I just realised actually, I ruined two Grey Knights players' life for that RTT.
Yeah, you did.
I bongulated them.
You did. They got bongulated.
Yeah. So 2 Grey Knight players with like 5 Dread Knights each, both lost to the bong. So
yeah.
I ended two marriages that day. I broke up 2 families. Yeah. And I
understand those people actually. I think I saw both those lists, both those armies up for sale on a Facebook group as well.
Yeah, that probably checks out. Yeah. I don't feel bad. I just want them to know that. Get bongulated, kids.
I think a really good job though. I think that was really good job to go through. An amazing engagement from everyone as usual. Great to get your thoughts on it. If you're in the Discord, do continue to share what you think is in this. Hopefully some of what we've talked about now might help people shape some lists and do stuff. So get in there and talk about it. And if you're not in the Discord, Aiden, what should they do?
You can consider, just leave a like and a subscribe. That really helps us out. And a comment afterwards also helps. It just spreads the word. Make sure YouTube likes it and spreads it around. But if you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a Plague Marine. I will drop it in the chat now, just in case anybody is interested in becoming a Plague Marine. That gets you access to our Discord. You get access to our amazing community that we've got going there. Those guys are working so hard to make the best list they can. And it's just so much great discussion. You get to bully me as well. I have incredibly thick skin. Short height, thick skin is what we said. Oh, that is a YouTube link. No, is that a link? Yeah. That is the correct link, yeah. So you get to bully me, which is great for everyone to sort of do. But yeah, just... consider it. It supports the channel, helps us grow, which is really nice. And yeah, you get access to, like I said, giveaways, which we're going to have another one soon because we hit 1,000 member Discords. We've got to talk to you about, Dave, about the prize that's going to be, but we'll get that up. I know Natalie actually wants to do a painting competition for our members, so have you thought of any rules yet for your painting competition, or is it just going to be literally anything?
I don't know yet.
You're not sure yet? We'll make sure there's a prize for it, but if you are interested... Oops, sorry.
Gold, silver, and bronze.
Okay, she says she wants to have a gold, silver, and a bronze.
Nice.
So there's 3 prizes up. And I think it's just anything. So it can be Age of Sigmar, it can be 40k, it can be anything. So if you remember in our Discord,
can it be bronze, rust, and bone?
Bronze, rust, and bone. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with bronze, rust, and bone. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. So we'll do that. When you're adding the Plague Bong membership tier, we'll get there. Don't you worry. We will get there.
Don't you worry. There'll be some news soon. Don't worry.
The new bongulated tier. So yeah, make sure you join in that. Anything else going on, Mr. Dave? So obviously I'm dropping videos pretty much every day at the moment, or a stream. Like a madman. There is a video or a stream every day at the moment. Again, sorry for Tuesday. Missed that one, but again, I had family reasons. So we are. Gonna
we're
have
gonna do that.
tomorrow is I've got Shamble Rock ready for tomorrow, so we have Shamble Rock go up
Amazing.
tomorrow. So we'll look forward to that one. We had Flyblown host yesterday. Obviously, we've got this today. Hopefully, guys, you keep yourselves entertained. We try not to just be boring. We also try to be entertaining and make stupid jokes on this channel as well. So you have a bit of fun listening rather than just, two guys going.
If you watch any of the shorts, then yeah, you'll understand that.
The Morty and typhus.
Do you know people have actually? I've had some DMs of people asking for that to be a series.
Yeah. So have we? Is Mike Way? Is that the potential giveaway that from Mr. Zito and yourself? Is that one?
Ooh, what's that?
I will wait for him to confirm that. Might wait
Okay,
for
cool.
more confirmation on that one, but we'll see.
I'm gonna do story time. So for those, because as I put into the Discord, I know not everyone buys a Codex. The book has actually got a load of really good some kind of content at the front, like some lore background stuff, bits like that. So just as a bit of a hobby hangout, because I don't do any hobbying and I can't paint and I won't paint. I will. I'm going to just do a live stream that if people want to tune into, where I'm just going to basically read some of the lore and elements from this, discuss some of the bits in the book, and bits like that. So yeah, don't worry, Para. I will definitely get some more shorts out there. They've kind of become my little something, which is really fun. So we've got that going on. Coming up, we've got Leeds GT.
Yes.
In what, 3 weeks?
Is it in 3 weeks, Leeds?
It's the 5th and the 6th of June, isn't it?
I thought it was July.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So, whichever one it is, hopefully it is July because that'll be fun. But whichever one it is, we are all three of us going to be at it.
I bloody hope it's July.
You've got me worried now.
Oh, I'm going to check that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. But either way, yeah, all of us are going to be. I believe all of us are at it for the first time in a long time, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'll double check the dates on that one.
Oh no, July. Sorry, you are correct. Dave.
Oh,
June was
Dave!
Bristol's in June.
Dave, don't do that to me. Jesus Christ, Dave. So yes,
You had a heart attack
I
then,
will be
didn't
at the
you?
July
Yeah.
one. Yes, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
We will all be there. Chris Strongboy says a live stream of Dave counting to sevens and ringing a brass bell for 30 minutes. What is it, like some kind of Buddhist weird Buddhist contagion one? I think as Nat put it was Death God Dave ASMR. No, it won't be. It'll be me reading books like this.
Hopefully you guys can see that on the
So we've
screen.
got that going on. Yes,
There you go.
July we will be at that.
So on stream right now, you might see here So a while ago we did a giveaway where a very famous artist who works for WWE and makes the costumes for them did a giveaway on our channel, and a custom shirt was designed for one of our members who won it, Mr. Zito. On your screen right now
amazing.
is that shirt that got designed. How fucking cool is that? It looks
So
excellent,
cool.
and not only that, Zito has got a second one, and he has offered it to us to give away on the channel.
Oh, wow.
These are literally two of a kind. You can't buy this. They are custom made.
Amazing.
Zito owns one, and there will be another one up for grabs. Me and Dave aren't going to take it. As much as we'd probably love this, we won't do that. So this is going to be up as a giveaway soon. So keep your eyes peeled and aware of that one. But I just want to say,
That's
a fantastic art job. It's so fucking cool. And again, if you are interested in getting some work done by this fella, we will post all his stuff in the chat.
We will.
He does take commission work, and we obviously want to give him the shout out there. Mike Wade, give me the full name and the full link when you can. We'll get it up on the stream and everywhere. But how cool is that shirt? So yeah, it literally will be two of a kind in the world.
That's so amazing.
Zito. So if you win this one, that is a pretty big. I'm jealous. Even I'm jealous. We don't get many limited things, do we, Dave? We didn't get the Codex. We don't get this. What the things
We didn't get that.
sacrifice?
We didn't get the Codex, and then we did get another one of these, but we're going to give it away. So we have given it away to the notorious NUG.
Yeah. So you are signing that, and you are sending it down to Will, I believe, Monday, aren't you? And then Will's going to give it to me, and then I'll sign it, and then we get it over to Notorious Nurgle.
Exactly.
Codex. I've already given him a code from my Codex because I didn't need my code, so he has got it on his app, so he's not like
amazing.
Waiting, so we're good with that. Don't worry.
No, all good.
Excellent. Right. Anything else to cover tonight?
No, I think people have been with us for 2 hours, so let's probably let
thank you
everyone.
for being here, everyone.
I know it's pretty amazing, right? No, we do really appreciate it, guys. The growth in the channel has been absolutely phenomenal. Aiden's been an absolute legend for just putting out video after video after video, and thank you everyone for commenting. I hope you appreciate we have been going through the comments we try and write back to everybody where you've asked a question or things in the video chats. Thanks for watching the shorts. please do like, comment, subscribe. It helps us grow and it'll help you have more content. And if you, like Aiden said at the beginning, if you really want to help us or support the channel, should I say more, just click that join link. You can find it on the YouTube homepage if you're on mobile. If you're on web, it's obviously at the bottom of the video or it's at the bottom of shorts.
Very quickly.
We missed Super Chat.
Yeah, Bazros with 77. After all that, that's probably Danish krona or something. I'm not sure, but he says, "Good job on the fun and informative stream as usual." Thank you, mate. What detachments do you predict to be WTC ones? I think right now WTC is probably going to be looking mostly at Virulent Victorium.
Agreed.
I think that's just kind of the go-to standard one. I don't think Mortarion's Hammer is that great on WTC, but I think there's going to be play in the Shamble Rot list that did well recently, potentially.
Yep.
We looked into that a bit deeper privately, and the scoring on it is kind of crazy what it can do. But I know you, Mr. Dave, have spoken to certain French people, and that sounds rude. That I don't mean like in a bad way. Just I know you've been speaking to the French members of our community, and they're quite high on Taliban in WTC, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So certainly, yeah. So if you've certainly seen him in the chat, but if you guys see, Bob Laponge, and he's got a bit of a French brain trust. We love Bob. Bob's got a bit of a French brain trust for Death Guard going on, and we're in constant communication. They are very interested in Taliban, as I am actually. I think there is some fun lists, so we've been bouncing some back and forth. Look out for some news on that coming soon. I personally am I'm really into Deathlord's Chosen. I don't think it's the most competitive list, the detachment, but I'm determined to make it so. So me and quite a lot of the people in that subgroup are working on this one. But as I said, join the Discord, get into the conversation. You'll just find an enormous community of over 1,000. We are legion now of Death Guard fans who are there to kind of help bounce ideas off and help you kind of get into the game and get into the army if you're new.
It is an extremely positive and interactive Discord we have, and I'm very proud of it. And everyone in there is an absolute.
It's amazing.
And Don Houston, I'm shoe size 9, I think. Pretty sure 9. I hope that's not some weird like foot fetish question there, Mr. Don. I won't judge. I'm not here to judge you, but I should. You're just saying. But yeah, I think that's everything then for tonight here. Thank you very much for everyone tuning in tonight. Really appreciate it. It's been a long one. Me and Dave are going to go now have a nice, well-earned evening to ourselves. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'll leave you with a little tune on the way out.
Give us some tunes.
Give some tunes. But anything else left to say, Mr. Dave?
Nope, just stay rotten, as Aiden would say, and we'll see you back here soon for more Death Guard conversation.
Hey, Metapanda, thank you for going to Play Green. Again, go to the post tab.
Just at the end.
Go to the post tab on our YouTube channel homepage. Get yourself in the Discord. Woo! Good job. All right, take care, everyone. We'll set you all
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Night, guys.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Get bungulated.
like get bungulated.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
In the void, where the warp winds howl, a fleet once noble, now destined to fall. Grave wardens stir, betrayal takes shape, Typhon's whispers, sealing their fate. Navigators lost to the shadowed lie, a fleet adrift beneath a darkened sky. The warp's cruel grasp, unyielding and tight, chaos awaits in the endless night. Whispers of power, a pestilent tide, Mortarion's pride, with nowhere to hide. The destroyer plague, a grim reward, Nurgle's laughter echoes aboard. Bound by decay, they rise in his name. The Death God transformed, never the same. Blightborn sons with torment they bled, shambling forth where angels fear to tread. Mortarion stands, his sons by his side. Through agony storm, their oaths collide. Grandfather's hand, the pact is sealed. The legion reborn, their fate revealed. Rise in the armor, rot in the soul. A Primarch remade, his heart grown cold. In terror shadow, their war drums beat. Pestilent warriors, no chance of retreat. Through breach and ruin, their banners fly. With death's embrace, they'll never die. The Lion's Gate, where hope was torn. Dragon's blade meets the Blightspawn. Bound by decay, they rise in his name. The death god transformed, never the same. Blightspawn sons with torment they bled, shambling forth where angels fear to tread. Typhus herald, chaos born, Mortarion's wrath, the plague sworn. In the warp, their legacy thrives, eternal servants where corruption lies. Mortarion's fall, Typhus ascends, the death god song, it never ends.